And welcome back to the TSF Entertainment Channel. It's your boy Retro CG, and in the building today you got DJ Fresh Your Highness.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, bros?
How y'all doing?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
All right, so we're here to talk about Power Book 2 Ghosts Season 3, Episode 303, Human Capital. First thoughts.
Go ahead, Jet.
It was a good episode. I kind of see what y'all was talking about when the statement was made about Kane and Effie. In the end, we'll get to that though. We'll get to that. But I kind of see what you're saying.
All right, Fresh. What was your thoughts on the episode?
Overall, it was a good episode. Like I said, it was stories on this episode that needed to be told.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure some people, they wanted all the action. They want that much action on this episode or whatever. But it was stories that needed to be told in this episode. So at least now we got some kind of backstories that we know at least now to go forward in the other episodes. So we won't be lost. We just jump to an episode. We like, well, when did this happen? So
right.
Yeah, overall, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was a development episode for me. I think it was an episode that kind of laying the groundwork for what the remainder of the season is going to be like. So I'm going to go ahead and hit you guys with that intro real quick, and we're going to be back to talk about it. And we are back. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this thing. See what we got this week. See where we at this week. So the episode starts off with Tariq and Brayden. They're out with Davis, and they're down to, looks like his tailor shop, probably Davis's tailor shop. Trying on suits, getting fitted for some suits. And of course, Davis gives What'd you say, Marvin?
No, I'm saying what's good, everybody. Everybody signing in. Everybody just said what's good, everybody.
And of course, Davis is pretty much giving them their some tips.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you putting on a suit is not going to change the fact that whoever's watching is watching. So, I don't care how many suits they put on Brayden and Tariq, they still look like they're 12 years old.
Especially in this picture right here.
Right here, they look like babies.
They got their Easter best on.
They got their Sunday suits on already. Yeah, it's crazy. So you see Effie, she's out in the streets, she's making her moves, she's doing her deliveries and her pickups. And what was very interesting is this scene right here. I believe the character's name was Judy. I believe there's some type of connection between her and this character simply because she mentioned Tariq. When she asked Effie, was she moving weight up there at Stansfield? And she said no. And she's like, is that because of Tariq? How do you even know who Tariq is?
Wasn't, and didn't mean to cut you off, bro, but wasn't she one of the people that was up at Choate?
Maybe she was up at Cho. Okay.
I think she was.
Maybe she was up at Cho. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Xavier said we saw her in season 1. She's Effie's ex-girlfriend. Okay. All right. I was wondering why she had that connection with Effie, and seemingly she knows about, Tariq. So I was curious about that. Support Gamer says, I just don't understand why Brayden was so ready to kill season 2, and he almost killed the jewelry store owner until the gun jammed, but can't do it season 3. Also, he saw Kane kill people and laugh. Yeah, I'm so sick and tired of Brayden. this episode right here, I was just through with him completely. So
he ain't got the heart, man.
he ain't got the heart. He don't need to be in this. But see, that's the crazy part about it is all this has started off as a game for you, for Brayden. Yep. All this started off as a game, shits and giggles, a good time. Now the good time ain't so good.
It's an adrenaline rush for him. He haven't had that taste of that life, and this right here is just like it gives him that rush. But I feel personally like we might see in this season where his hand is forced and he really don't have a choice but to drop that hammer.
Yeah. He gonna have to eventually. Like Kane not playing with him, and what I think Kane wants him to get his hands dirty, so then that way, like, although of course
he's implicated.
He's implicated. So it's just like Kane's just like, that way, you know what I'm saying? If something pop off, it can't just be all of us and you're able to skate out, you know what I'm saying, unharmed, untouched and everything. So I think that's why he wants to get his hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? Why he wants him, especially because he's like, yo, you keep having us do all this, and you're not doing nothing. But also in that scene right there, I also felt like that I forgot the girl's name. Like
Judy, I think.
Yeah, to me it seemed like it wasn't even fully about Tariq. It was more so like, yo, Effie might be working for somebody else as well. And that's why she's trying to, or she owes somebody. And that's why she's trying to sell so much.
She explained it. She explained it in this episode what the deal was for her as to why she was trying to do a side hustle and why she was stepping on the product. For her, she's paying for everything. She's not on a scholarship and she don't got rich parents, so she's having to pay her scholarship at Stansfield in addition to buy her books and whatever. So she's trying to make sure that she have enough money for grad school and making sure that she's straight because she didn't come from a rich family like everybody else did. So I understand her hustle. Out of all of them, I understand her hustle the most.
I understand it, but it still seemed like it's something else because, like Tariq told her, you got more than enough money. Like we banking, you know what I'm saying? So what is it like you trying to extra hustle for? And then when he asked her about, well, what's the number? She couldn't give him a number that she's trying to save up for. Like it's I just felt like in that scene, like it was something else to it. Why she asked her why she wasn't moving at Stansfield, why she wasn't moving bricks at Stansfield. That was just me though.
I don't think that she's helping her family, Miss Sharon, because she seems rather disconnected from her family, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as we move further down. But I think it's what it truly is. What she's saying is that Tariq don't know nothing about what them bills cost at Stansfield. He ain't paying for none of them. Right. He ain't paying for none of them. He ain't got no clue what struggling is like. That girl's struggling.
Yeah.
She ride around in a beat up car. She need all the help she can get. And I don't think it's selfish that Effie is about herself. I mean, she's running with a cast of characters that are clearly about themselves. So, I mean, she got to look out for herself because there is no one else. I mean, she don't got rich friends like Tariq does that can help her out of a jam if she get jammed up. So, she got to be team her because ain't nobody else going to look out for her. And if she think Tariq going to look after her, shit. I has to be locked up serving time.
Did you see, speaking of car, the little dig he took at her, like your little beat up car, you would have thought she would have bought you a new one. She was like, at least I got a car.
Yeah, that was funny, but she made perfect sense why she still had that little beat up car because it was inconspicuous.
Right.
It's inconspicuous, right.
Yeah. If she ended up trying to move up, you know what I'm saying, buy her a new car or get, drive around or something like Brayden, it's going to immediately attract attention, especially because she's trying to keep that persona as that, like, I'm an orphan, I don't have no money, etc. So
yeah,
I think that's what was also good about it. Like you said, it's inconspicuous.
So what's going on with Lorenzo here? Lorenzo and Kane, they out picking up their work, dropping off their work or whatever. And I knew as soon as they pan to this scene right here with these goons, I said, "Oh yeah, they finna jump his ass."
Stanley gave me that prison vibe. Remember he whooped on Kane?
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
I also think it was payback as well for, you know, killing Zeke. Like, because he's like, probably like, right now, this is all I could do to you. So I'm gonna lay, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let them lay hands on you. This is get back for that, you know what I'm saying, and the joint in jail, and to also let you know I got the upper hand over you. Like,
I was
you know
gonna say, yeah, this definitely felt like a more of a flex to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you get out of the line, it can be more.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And Kane pretty much tells him right here that, listen, you getting off easy compared to what you did to Zeke and Drew. So it was payback. It was payback threefold. It was payback for when he caught the fade up at the prison. It was payback for Zeke. It was payback for Drew. So I mean, and Lorenzo ain't got no choice at this point but to lay there and take it. But Kane on some dictatorship, man. What the fuck is going on with Kane? Like, he's doing the most this episode. Like, he was just ruthless. Yeah. Stupid and ruthless at the same time. Like, I thought we had gotten past Kane, but I have to understand that Kane's character is going to continue to make dumb decisions. And we see in this episode, he made a dumb decision that is going to have a domino effect. Watch what I say.
Yeah, I was going to get to that later on in the show, but this particular episode showed why Lorenzo picked Drew over Kane. Like, immediately. It showed him immediately. As soon as I saw it, I said, well, that's why he picked Drew over you. Like, your decision making is horrible. Like,
I mean, terrible.
No brains at all. Like, you don't use no smarts.
Yeah. But I mean, Lorenzo got what was owed to him. So I don't feel like Kane was wrong for orchestrating that little beat down for Lorenzo. He earned it. Yeah. He was deserving of it. Drew is just,
bro. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like, I mean, I understand it, but I was just like, this scene just felt like it just like they just threw it in there just because they could. Because I was just like, bro, where is it going? It came out of nowhere.
I'm gonna tell you where it's going. Like, it's a plot device.
I was just like, y'all could have did this scene like totally different to explain why he was doing what he was doing. It just felt like it was just one of those scenes like, man, we could throw this joint in there just because we could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it that's just me though.
What I took from this scene is Drew is lovesick over Everett, obviously. Mm-hmm. 2, it's like I'm trying to get over him, and how I'm going to get over him is I'm just going to run through all these randoms until I'm over him or whatever the case may be, because you see he's still stalking his Instagram or whatever the case may be. And then as soon as he put old dude out, he put old dude up out of here. He was like, yo, get up out of here. He grabbed right back on Grinder. Like, didn't you just finish?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I was like, yo, y'all could have just went straight to he's stalking the chat, you know, Instagram, show him going on ground. I was like, bro, like, y'all could have I don't know. I was just like, it just caught me off guard when it just popped up. I was like, well, damn, okay, we getting right into it. But
so we see the tattoo. So the tattoo is going to be important later on in the episode. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. Old buddy is coming downstairs. Kane is coming in. Kane like, damn, another one? Like, Drew, what the hell you got going on? It's the middle of the day. And then the crazy part about it is you just invite all these random people in and out your place. Like, nah, that ain't what you're supposed to be doing, Drew. You ain't supposed to be bringing them to your house, yo.
And a government, a former federal informant,
living quarters?
By that, yeah, that was his headquarters. So it's like, bro, you just bring in, you don't know what might happen. Somebody might be coming back to revenge, on Mecca, like trying to not knowing Mecca is dead and you about to get ready to get somebody unalive just because you running through people.
Man, they got all kind of shit coming in and out of that penthouse.
Right.
And the crazy part about it is the first thing they should have did when they got there to that penthouse was swept it and made sure there was no bugs in it. If this dude is an informant and a snitch, the first thing y'all should have did when y'all set up shop in this penthouse is sweep it for bugs.
I never even
y'all sitting up here drug dealing, dirty dealing, talking about murders, and ain't nobody concerned about, we living in a penthouse of a former snitch. Maybe we might need to check this place for bugs.
All right. Wild parties and everything. And they
wild out. They wild out. So you got the crew. They all get a 911 text to get your ass down to this warehouse real quick. Like real quick. I ain't gonna even wait for y'all. Y'all get here now. So that's from Obi. Obi sends them a text. They get to the warehouse and Obi is like, "Yo, what's up? Y'all got rid of Mecca. Y'all said y'all couldn't take his place, and y'all not moving his work fast enough. Like they moving it, but they not moving it fast enough." And he basically plays 3-card Monte with their family members, and they pick Effie. I mean, not Effie, but Dirty Diana. They pick Dirty Diana. And he threatens them and say, "Listen, if y'all don't have $1 million for me next week when I come through, she finna get it. And I ain't mad at that at all. Please take her." You can take her right now. Take her.
It's too soon. They ain't gonna take her yet.
Yeah, it's too soon.
I thought I was the only one wondering why they would do business in a federal informant's home. Yeah, that's stupid. Stupid.
But Xavier said that they already.
The first episode, I thought they were going to move a little bit different because in the first episode they took notice to the fact that the penthouse was still being watched, but y'all ain't changed up y'all MO. I was thinking who they really should have cast for Obi is old boy from Bel Air, Jeffrey.
Yo, I kid you not. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, yo, he would have made the perfect person because it's almost like he already plays that role somewhat on Bel Air.
He would have been perfect for Obi's character.
I was like, so he would have been perfect for this. Matter of fact, it's weird because every time I hear him talk,
I think of him. That's why I said that. Yep.
I think about Jeffrey.
Yep. We noticed that in the pictures that Obi put down, you had Brayden's parents, you had Tariq's grandmother, and Dirty Diana. They're being watched. They're being watched. Now, about who they're being watched, that hasn't been revealed yet. But we know that they got people that's out and about that's keeping an eye on them. Yeah, watching their every move. Looks like. And so Tariq is going to have to, figure out a way to, keep his grandmother safe or whatever, which I feel like if something happened to that lady, he ain't going to give a shit about it anyway. But he claims that that's the only family he have left. So he got to make sure that Grandma Estelle stay safe. So
I guess, well, okay. Because when he said that, I was like, no, you don't. You got your whole sister and your mother. But I keep forgetting they're in witness protection. So technically he doesn't have any family. That's the only one,
I agree with Xavier. I don't feel like Drew want to be bothered with the family business either. And if he is involved with the family business, he doesn't want to be involved with it if Kane got anything to do with it. I don't necessarily feel like he doesn't want to necessarily be involved with the family business. He just don't want to be mixed up with Kane.
Kane running a dictatorship.
Yeah.
I think he does. I think it's only right now he's just mad about the whole Everett thing. So, like, I think he does. I think he wants to run it, like, whatever, what I'm saying, like how he was with Lorenzo. But I think it's because, like I said, he's so distracted right now with the whole thing between Everett that, like, he don't care about nothing else. Like, that's all, what I'm saying, he mad about. But
I think Obi support gaming says I'm confused. Obi's supposed to be from London or Africa. He sounds more African to me. He's African, but so are they. They're African too, but they're from but they live in the UK.
Yeah,
right.
Um, I'll talk about Salim in a little bit. No picks for Effie. Yeah, there were no picks for Effie, and Obi even mentioned about her being Orphan Annie or whatever the case may be. So it further drives in that point that Effie is a loner. She out here. She ain't got no commitments to anyone. She ain't got no family ties. That makes her more dangerous than anyone because they don't have anyone to threaten Effie with. Which he ended up threatening her by saying that if he'll kill the rest of them, or they'll unalive the rest of them if they don't put this work out. Like
especially Brayden and Tariq.
She looking like so. Do it.
I mean, to me, I thought that was just like I thought that was poker face to me.
Yeah,
that was just me though. So? Yeah, I thought it was poker face. Sure. I thought it was.
Oh, you gonna leave me alive and take the ass? Take them. Take them. Yeah, Obi is Nigerian. Yeah, they. I think they mentioned it in episode 1. They are Nigerian from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Blanca and Jenny. This two not going to be a good combo right here because both of
them already.
Both of them have their own. Well, I'm not going to say that with Blanca. Blanca seems to be straightforward this season. She doesn't seem to be harboring any hidden information. She's bringing everything to the table. We know that Jenny's working all kind of angles. She's working with Saxe. Blanca don't know nothing about that. Lauren's alive. Nobody know nothing about that. So, Jenny, you're not really. You're gonna mess up your whole investigation because you're not sharing all the information with everybody that's involved in the investigation. So you fucking up big time.
I think like how you said, what was that? Not last week. Maybe it was last week or the week before last. That her hiding Lauren, like you said, after this episode, I think one, it's off the books, and 2, that's what's going to hurt her case.
Yeah,
especially because it looks like in later episodes from the trailer, somehow we see Lauren and Tariq talking, and I think somebody's going to see Lauren, and that's going to mess up like the entire case because she never told nobody that Lauren was still alive. I think like how you said, Retro, that her boss don't know it. Her boss don't know that Lauren alive.
I think Whitman gonna jag it too. He gonna drop the ball too and mess up something.
Nah, I got a whole different theory on Whitman.
I think Whitman gonna end up finding out that Lauren is alive.
Yeah,
find out. I could give you that one.
Nah, Whitman gonna end up taking somebody's life. That what gonna end up happening with Whitman.
Yeah,
that crazy ass fool. He finna get ready to take somebody.
He off the chain, and then for you to be told that you supposed to be on desk duty and you still doing what you're doing.
Blatantly sitting out in front of the lady house with the window down, waving at the camera, like, "Hi, I'm here." Crazy ass. That fool crazy.
He nuts.
Yeah, he nuts.
But he had a great point though, how they were saying he was making it personal about Carrie, and they're making it personal about Tariq. They both have it out for Tariq specifically. And I was like, I'm glad that point was made because I was like, yeah, he right that y'all basically do. Y'all have it out for Tariq, like nobody else. So
exactly. Okay, so the chat got some good points over here. Okay, I do agree. Whitman is doing real police work. He's a little bit aggressive, forceful, and just psychotic, but he is doing police work. I don't know what Blanca is doing. I don't know what her contribution is to the investigation so far. We know that Jenny is doing some stuff. We might not all agree. I'm not going to get into the whole big argument about whether or not Lauren is kidnapped and being held against her will or whatever, like we did last week. But I do believe that Whitman is doing real police work, but I feel like this man is lost the elevator stop on the 7th floor, and it ain't going all the way up to the 10th floor. So I do believe he's going to try to frame Nene, or he gonna try to unalive her. He gonna do that. He gonna do something.
Yeah, I agree with you, Xavier and Retro. I definitely feel like he's going to try, and it was what was also crazy is when Monet said to him, like, "You the type." I was like, you know what, that's not too far fetched. That he might have actually unalived Carrie just to try to frame Monet and them, because
Go ahead and finish your point.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I was like, it's not kind of because I'm looking at it like this. Like, since we never saw it, I'm looking at it like it's one of them joints where like he went over there to talk to Carrie about Zeke, whatever.
Yep.
They got into a fight, whatever. Let's just say he ended up like pushing her or something like that. She hit her head, conked out, whatever. Realized it was dead. So then at that point, it was just like, yo, I gotta cover myself. And he hung her up and made it seem like that way. But then I also think like how he's so invested into the case that at the same time, I don't think that he did. But I
No.
still think that he's going to put something to try to frame Monet. Like, because that's how bad he wants
he
to
gonna
get her.
definitely he gonna definitely do something that's gonna make or break somebody.
Okay, let me put this on y'all. Let me put this on y'all mind real quick. What's up, Miss Honey? Welcome in.
Honey.
Let me put this on y'all mind. Okay, I feel what y'all saying about Whitman. We all know that he moving shady. I feel you on that, right? But it doesn't make sense him being the one to unalive Carrie, because prior to Carrie being unalive, he wasn't really after Monet and them like that. He wasn't investigating them. He wasn't even concerned about them.
That's true.
But put him on the witch hunt after Monet is Carrie being unalive. Now, there's two theories. Okay, just like we had the big debate about Lauren, we do not know what happened to Carrie because they did not show it.
Yeah.
So, two things: Monet could have strung her up, like everyone assumes, or she could have forced that lady to commit the S word and unalive herself. And the reason why I say that is
that's what I think happened.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that, when Monet came in there, the first thing Carrie said was, I lost everything today. I lost my job. I lost my reputation, or whatever the case may be. So she was already feeling low, like she didn't have nothing to live for. And Monet probably just came in there and cussed her out and, told her she wasn't shit anyway. And so maybe she unalived herself. All right, Miss Honey, keep it up. What's on your
mind? As far as pinky toes?
Everything.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we technically don't know what happened to Milgram. I mean, and I did struggle with the idea that Monet could, hoist her up there. Like, it's not, you need at least a couple of people to do something like that, I think.
I ain't gonna lie, dead weight is extremely heavy.
Yeah, like, I just don't, I mean, in Prada boots, I don't think so. But, anything's possible if someone else is writing the storyline. I like this episode. I think my biggest issue with this episode is that, I don't know. I think they're playing the Caucasoids up a little too much for my liking.
You know what? I feel that way to a certain degree too, Miss Honey, but I think it's in lieu of the last few seasons we've had very little of it. So I think this season they're making up for the previous seasons where we did have the whole cop angle invested in the story.
You know what, Jeremiah? That's not too far-fetched either, because I forgot they had a dealing. But at the same time, I can't see Davis doing it, so.
Again, I'm going back to how Monet was dressed that night. I guess it's just stupid that she hasn't said she hadn't done it. She has not denied doing it. So it makes her look like she's guilty because she has not denied doing it. So I'm waiting for her to drop that any moment. I didn't touch her. I didn't bother her. Yeah, I went over there or whatever. But even with her own lawyer,
she kind of did it this episode, though, didn't she?
That's when she said, you look like the type that will kill her and frame me for it. So maybe that was her way of saying I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I never looked at it from that point. So that's a good point, Miss Honey. They working this case. They trying to work this case. They trying to connect these murders. They trying to figure out what happened with Carrie and Lauren, and both of them jumped to the chase. Jenny jumped to the chase real quick. Don't worry about that. Them closed cases.
That was right.
That's why I think she's kidnapped Lauren. I don't think Lauren is in Whitsick.
Yeah, I said, Miss Honey, I said before you came in, I said I'm with you in retro now that like it's she ain't in Whitsick. Like Carrie's doing
No,
it
she's
on her
in
own will.
she's in one of her like personal homes or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely not WITSEC. Why would you do that?
It's called hiding in plain sight.
That's facts.
That's true. But I don't think I don't think her boss or anything knows. I don't think they know. I don't think
No.
nobody knows but her. And that's what's going
Mm-mm.
to come back to bite her.
I think okay, so support gaming, yes. She does know about Tommy being alive, but we saw that in Force. So I think that's going to be addressed in Force, not here. Because I think she's the only one that may suspect that Tommy is still alive. So I think we're going to get, after she solved this case or get put out over here, we're going to see her transition over to Force. I think she's going to be one of those characters that's going to bounce back and forth between both installments.
Yeah, I think so.
You need to be fired.
Well, she ain't did nothing wrong this season yet. She ain't did nothing wrong yet. She's just doing her job.
Yeah.
Operative word, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it ain't gonna be her that do nothing this season. It's gonna be that nut and it's done.
It's gonna be Whitman.
Yep, it's gonna be Whitman and Jenny.
I think
No,
Whitman
when I said caucasoids, I meant white people, not police officers. Actually, I just think that we've got enough now. We don't need to add any more.
Yeah.
I think Whitman gonna end up going at Tariq and messing up.
He ain't said about Tariq. He's not concerned about Tariq. He is not concerned about Tariq. You heard what he told them. He told them that y'all got a witch hunt for this kid. He doesn't believe that Tariq could be any type of mastermind in this criminal organization. He want Monet. He want Nene.
And nobody's stepping to Tariq. No one steps to Tariq till episode 7 or 8 or 8 or 9 or 10. It's like the last 3 episodes is when he gets stepped to, really.
Yeah, I think it's I think like he said, he believes that she's the one that is at the top of the food chain and the rest of them are under her umbrella.
Yep.
Like you bring her down, you can bring the rest of them down. Like bring her down to Tariq. It's not going to be able to bring down Monet.
No, I ain't saying like bring them down, but shaking them down and asking them questions, I can see.
Nah, I don't even think that's going to happen. I think Blanca's going to be the one to pull up on Reek.
Yep.
Because she got that ace card. She got that ace card when she rolled up on him and asked what you were doing over there at Dante penthouse the night of his unaliving. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be Blanca that's going to pull up on his ass. Effie and Tariq are walking down the street and they're having their conversation about how we going to move all this weight. Effie tells him that she's been stepping on products. She wanted to start hustling at Stansfield. We kind of talked about it already that, you know, she wants to pay her bills. And Tariq gives her his blessings, which I feel like she was going to do it whether or not he agreed or not.
I mean, she did bring him in on the sly.
Yeah.
She had already done it.
Yep. She had already prepped to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She had everything ready to go. She got the app ready. She had stepped on the product. She got the whatchamacallits for Course Perfect ready. She was ready.
Yeah, she was
ready. So whether he agreed or not, she was going to do it.
Oh, you know what? In a way, she might not have at the same time if Tariq did, because I think at this point, and I hate to skip further into the show, like the scene with her and Diana kind of let me know like her feelings for Tariq. So I kind of think like I think she wanted to. I think that's why she was so hesitant to tell, like, to do it. Because I think if she just really wanted to do it without his blessing, she would just went on ahead and did it.
Yeah.
But I think it's like she actually got that feeling. So that's what made her ask. I think if Tariq might have said no, she might not have, or she would have had somebody else do it.
So we down here to the class and we get the episode's theme discussion, human capital. Diana I'm so ready for something to happen with her. I'm ready for her to go.
Boy, that conversation in that classroom got real personal.
Yeah, they got heated in that classroom today.
It was shots fired all over that place.
I mean, they were shooting shots, yo. Diana was shooting shots, but I feel like Diana, you put your business out in the street unnecessarily.
Well, first of all, it's clearly a lie. It's clearly a lie. Your family hasn't cast you down or out. Your mama just mad at you because you think you the head BIC and she trying to let you know ain't but one queen in that house. The rest of your family cool with you. What's the problem?
You beat me to it.
Just lying to be for attention. That's all.
That's exactly what it is. It's harboring for attention. Oh, my family used me and they threw me to the side, but yet they're paying for you to be here in Stansfield.
And your brother in the corridor.
They gave you a stack of money.
She definitely wants to kind of cut you off for sympathy.
And then she made a shot at Effie and Tariq. Some people use you to get you out of the way so they can get what you want or get something that you want. And I feel Effie on that. Effie was like, listen, I tried to tell your little stupid ass that, listen, Tariq ain't good for you. Y'all know I can't stand Diana. I can't stand a little effort.
Like I'm telling you, that widow peeking them bags on her eyes, that flat forehead, I just can't take her.
I can't take her either. I can't stand her ass.
Because what I wanted out of that scene when she said that, I was hoping that Tariq was going to allude to like how Monet was using, how she was using Tariq to keep eyes on him.
Yep.
And I thought he was going to like make like a little slick comment about that, like, you know, like you used me or whatever, etc. But
that's right, because that's the only reason she brought her ass down there to that school was spy on Tariq.
Yep.
And don't forget, she booked him for his work. Remember, she came in there crying, put the little sad story on, and got the QR code.
Yep, her and Drew came and stole it.
Yeah, and stole all his work. So I mean, she's trying to sit here and act like she's so innocent.
Yeah, I don't buy the whole Diana situation. I don't think it's well written. And that's probably why it's poorly acted as well, because the writing is just awful on that character. It just bugs me. Like you come from a drug family, so obviously, if you've got college paid for and your room and board, you're gonna have to sell a little Mary Jane, honey. You're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, get a whole can of slit malt liquor and sell them for $1 a can, bootleg. Like everybody, you know, got their hustle in college, learned what they were good at hustling at. For her to just be acting like, I just don't have a pot to piss in, or you know, it's just.
I did. I like how Bushonda checked Tariq too. Like, listen, ain't nobody steal shit from you. Like he said no to you, and called and said yes to me. So you take your issue up with Tate. I ain't had nothing to do with that.
What's crazy too is that Tariq don't talk to Diana at all.
She told him, she said your issue was in house. So she was basically letting them know, like, it's somebody close to you that jagged that.
Ooh.
Y'all still not vibing with me about this TA working for Nomina?
I am now.
Not vibing with me.
I am now.
Why do you feel like this episode confirmed that for you? That's what I'd like to know.
Because he
go ahead, Retro. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead first, Fresh. Go ahead.
Because it confirmed to me, how it confirmed to me was the simple fact that he Googled all of this stuff. Yeah. It's like, why you Googling her? Number one, like, because even let's be real. Like, let's just say you meet somebody that you're interested in real life. Let's say I go to a bar today. Oh, I'll talk to this girl. She tell me her name is something. The last thing on my mind is Googling her to find out what she's about because she's not sharing information from me. That's number one.
Really?
I'm not Googling no one. Then number two.
Oh, go ahead.
He was in like almost every scene when there is something like, okay, he's in this scene right here. Kane pops up. He starts talking to her again. It's like he's trying to get information out of her. Then when they talk again, when they're in her room, her father pops up. Because it was like in that, I forgot what he said in that scene right there before they started kissing, but it was like he was trying to get more information out of her, like about her family, like what's going on, etc. So I'm with Retro. This proved to me that, like, yo, I think he's the one that's actually working with Noma.
I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say this when he said it confirmed it for him. Just the simple fact of how you went, just to say what Fresh said, you went out your way to Google somebody. That's like you basically doing this to find out something that they just might not come out and tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then for the brother, like you said, Kane popped up, and then Lorenzo popped up, and it was almost like when they were alone in the room, this whole time, every time he's around her, he's trying to get her to be more comfortable, more and more and more comfortable around him to speak on her family.
Okay, for me, it don't got nothing to do. It ain't got shit to do with the whole Google thing. For me, who's watching Diana? When Obi put that picture up there on the at the warehouse, that told me right there someone is at that school watching Diana. Who's up at school with her? Obi. Okay. 2, we know we've been watching Power since Power season 1. We've been watching Power for years. Y'all know, y'all might not want to admit it, but y'all know Power does not put pointless characters on the show. There's a purpose for him.
That's
and
true.
Anyone could have been the teacher's assistant. Anyone. It could have been Brushonda could have been the teacher's assistant. Anyone else that we have already saw could have been that teacher's assistant. This dude right here, he lurking. He keep trying to pump up for information about her family. He's so interested in knowing about her family and this and this and that. That's enough to get to know you. If the girl told you that I'm not feeling my family, I want to put a distance between me and my family, you should be concerned about getting to know her, not her family.
Yep.
So I feel like if he is not a mole for Norm and them, he's something else. That's he's got some other nefarious. Either he gonna steal her work, steal her money, something. He up to no good. He ain't just a knight in shining armor. And I feel like another reason is because of how they casted him. If he would have been a regular Joe Blow guy up there at the school, there would have been a whole different story. But because he's African, and we got introduced to African Connect this season, it just, to me, it just blends in that he's a paid for mole.
So why do you think he's African? Because he's got all those names. That would make him Muslim, though, not necessarily. His last name is Jefferson.
I feel like I don't know how to say this, but I'm just gonna say
Kane was so funny this episode.
I feel like if they were going to cast him as a love interest for Diana, it would have been a different type of guy.
Yep.
It would have been a different type of guy. It would have been a more of a popular type of guy on campus. It would have been someone who's maybe athletic, the new guy at the school. To me, the fact that they casted him the way they casted this character makes me feel like there's a different purpose for him. He's not just a love interest, because in reality, Diana don't even let you go up for this type of guy. Like, she's running behind Tariq, and I don't compare them two. I don't compare Salim and Tariq. They're not on even playing field. So I feel like he's just trying to gain her confidence because she is a weak link and find out more about Monet's organization or whatever. You know that once she gets close to him and once she gives up the box, she's going to start running off at the mouth, and all that information is going to get back to Monet about the connection between Dante and Monet. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, the Googling thing, it just popped in my head like, yo, you barely know her. So why would you already go and Google? I could see if like maybe y'all were chatting or dating or even kicking it, let's say for like a month, and she wasn't revealing no information. Okay, I get it at that point. But like, yo, y'all damn near just met. So it's like you Googling like her family already to try to bro. Like ain't no way. It's too early.
I Google off the rip though, so
maybe
that wasn't a red flag to me. I wouldn't have said it out loud, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Google wasn't a red flag for me either. It's more of the other things that are floating around in my head. Like, what
Like
is
he doing too much too soon. That's what's really just like how he just really going up for her like that. It's that's what's suspicious to me. But I've been dating a long time,
you
y'all.
get her a job at the candy shop. You looking out for her with the books. You trying to romance her, whatever. You going up for this chick too soon. Like, and then they didn't explain it in a way because he's actually a new student. This semester we had seen him previously before, so he really should have been introduced as a transfer student. He should have been introduced as a transfer student, but he just appeared out of nowhere. That's why I feel like, just like they appeared out of nowhere. That's why I feel like.
But we need fodder. So if we didn't have our fodder, we wouldn't be we would just be killing off our main characters. Which
that's true.
I'm okay with Saxe going, but other than that, all of these characters kind of make up the show. So we need to bring in that fodder. That's one of the reasons why I think he's some type of snitch.
He's something.
Yeah. And support gaming, that was totally different circumstances. Sorry about that, Retro, but that's
no, you're okay.
Totally different circumstances, bro. Like, that's somebody you move and work with. If I'm in the street business with you, you damn well know I'm gonna Google your ass to try and figure out what I'm running with. So that's totally different circumstances. Go ahead, Retro.
You had Diana playing on the basketball team, the girls' basketball team. That would have been dope.
I mean, anything. She's just all this book bag carrying. It's just not satisfying.
Nah, I can't see that, Jeremiah, because she hasn't revealed. She would have revealed and said that she had a
CI as well. Yeah,
she would have definitely been revealed that, unless she's the CI for Jenny. But
I mean, she had CIs all along. Mecca was a CI for her, so I don't know.
I mean, that's true, but remember, she pretty much done gave up all her information straight up to Jenny, where Jenny is.
Or so we think. I mean, come to find out, neither one of them really have a whole lot of information, because if you think you got to go talk to Tate to get some answers, you really don't have a case, right?
Nah, they were just shaking Tate down. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all
they were doing. They were just trying to pump him for information.
Yeah, they were trying to pump him for information. Effie would have made a better Tejada too. I agree with that.
Effie would have made a better Tejada.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Kane pulls up on her and try to ask her what's the 411 on boy, which she can't give him any details about him other than that's my boss and he's my TA. So she don't know nothing about the company that she keep, which goes back to the comment that Kane made at the dinner. We need to be careful about the company we keep up there at that school. Like, you think that this dude here for you, but this dude ain't here for you. Like, you need to get up out of his face. He tries to give her a blicky. She turns that down, but she had no problem taking that money. She did that money real quick.
He should have gave his sister a blade, though. Like, you give your sister a blade, you give her some money. You know what I'm saying? You show her how to get up out of a situation. But a blicky?
Yeah. Well, Diana looks like she might know how to pop one.
Yeah, but if she gets caught with that
at the school,
right.
She need a razor blade in her hair. Yeah.
Yeah, she got enough hair. She can't put it in that ponytail part because that's thin. But,
no, Monet is finally at the house. She ain't watching Judge Faith today. It must be Saturday. She ain't watching Judge Faith today. She is finally at her bar. And I feel like these two patrons that are at the bar are her workers.
I was going to say, they weren't patrons at all.
I feel like they were her workers.
They were her workers. And it's crazy because up until Whitman said something, I never noticed that damn bar is always empty. Always. Like, how y'all
about that all the time
running and y'all not getting no income in? Like,
like,
something up. Like,
that comment about the contractor, though, I like that when he said, I'm gonna have to look your contractor up. Like, I'm like, that contractor's dead.
Listen, he read her whole LinkedIn profile. He gave her her whole resume. He don't announce to her everybody that been to that bar that has showed up and never came out.
What's so crazy is that he alluded to all of that when he came into the bar.
Yep.
So why she thought it was a good idea to go in and sit down and talk with him, knowing how much he had, it was just bizarre to me. It was bizarre.
You know, Jerron, I said that at the very beginning of this season about him being related to Jabari, and the panel pretty much feels like, you know, what would be the point? You know, what would be the point if he was related to Jabari, unless he's there to try to get some kind of revenge for what happened to his brother or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to run that angle. I just think it's ironic that they would introduce African characters and then we have a new African character that's up at that school. Why
do you think he's African? I don't get that. Is it his hairline?
Muslim at best. Muslim at best, because he doesn't talk with an accent. He doesn't talk with an accent, but
neither does Jonathan Majors when he's in American movies.
Yeah. Even if he's not African, let me just take the African part out. Maybe he's not African. He's connected to them in some way, shape, form, fashion. He's somebody. We know that Opie was walking around that campus. We know that they can't send anyone up there else to that campus that will blend in plain sight to keep an eye on Tariq and Dana and all them. I think he's watching more than just Diana. I think
he's in arm's reach of all of them.
He's in arm's reach of all of them. Yeah. And to me, if it was me, I would be disappointed if he's not. If it turns out that he's not, I would be disappointed, because it just wouldn't make sense that they would be doing business with these teenagers and not have somebody up there at that school keeping an eye on them. It's the same thing we saw Monet do with Diana last season. She sent Diana up there to that school. She sent Drew up there to that school.
Yep.
She sent Kane up there to that school to keep an eye on Tariq. So the fact that you doing work with all these college kids and you ain't got nobody up there at that school keeping an eye on them, yeah. Yeah, it
really
just
be, what up?
It's really be. It just ain't. The math ain't mathing for me on that.
Yeah, it ain't mathing at all. I don't think he's
But
yeah, it's like Retro said. You just got somebody up there. You know what I'm saying? And then also, Xavier, your comment. I don't think that they're money laundering through the bar. I think that's just the front for them to handle their business at that bar. So it's like,
because they do their bagging in the basement, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, but I still think that they could be washing their money through the bar.
How? Ain't nobody ever in the
damn bar. They ain't got no game.
We know that. But that's a cash business. So
I mean, yes, but don't nobody ever be in the bar. So how they make it cash?
But the lifestyle they live don't fit the business that they have. You know, like with Ghost, at least he had the clubs and the laundromats and all that or whatever. This bar ain't raking in the kind of money. Y'all all walk around here, designer clothes and ride around in Range Rovers and stuff. That bar ain't bringing in that much income.
No.
D-Wagons, you riding around in $100,000 D-Wagon.
As a matter of fact, all Whitman need to do is just run the taxes.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Check their W-2s.
Ain't no way. Especially now with no red leather seats. Trust me, I know.
Zero customers. I mean, ain't nobody there. I don't even think they serve food in the bar. But somebody got a liquor license, so
yeah, she don't have no staff. She don't have no wait staff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
staff. Yeah,
it's such a weird setup, and even with Kane and Lolo, I mean, it's a terrible. They're a terrible cartel. Maybe they're not a cartel, a gang. I don't know. They're just awful at it.
Yeah, gang. That's exactly what they are. They're not a cartel.
It's a family gang, right? Like it's just the mom, the dad, and 3 little baby ducklings.
Yeah, they're just basically, in a sense, they're just like a organized crime family. In a sense.
Yep, they're an organized crime family. Yep. They damn sure in a mafioso.
No.
They act like one, but they
no. They barely a club.
Yeah, they're a gang of older than family. Monet go down there to Davis and tell Davis, like, listen, this man ain't bothering me. I need you to make him go away. Monet is ready to take Whitman out. She is ready
He
to
is.
him.
He is.
She's ready for him to go.
Yeah.
Like, she's tired
Out of
now.
here.
Nene is tired, and
Yeah.
Davis. She try to wait on Davis to do something, but it ain't happening fast enough for her because she's ready to take him out.
Out.
They have an interesting conversation about the burner phone, and that to me, I feel like they should have stopped and had a little bit more dialogue about this because Monet said they're calling me, hanging up shit. Don't do that no more. He's like, I ain't call you, and he even goes as far to show her his call log. Right there, y'all should have been asking some questions about that. Like, yo,
that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought as soon as he pulled it out and showed, like, yo, there's no whatchamacallit. If I remember correctly, and I ain't had a burner phone in years, but if I remember, even when you delete, I think it even shows you, well, no, because that's totally different. But either way, I thought that they were going to have a conversation about that. Because she could have easily pulled out her phone, which is what I thought she was going to do, and show like, well, here's the time that you called. And I thought like right then and there, it was going to raise the flags. Like, okay, well, wait a minute, who called? And they didn't do that, and that kind of annoyed me with that scene. Right
they have so much to lose between the two of them.
Yep.
They have so much to lose. It's silly. I know we need to move our storyline around. You know what I'm saying? I know conversations need to be had so information can be dropped so we can be teased a bit. I get all of that. But they have so much to lose. Remember how these characters were sold to us when we first saw them. Davis was hot shot, number one lawyer. You know what I'm saying? He was getting folks off left and right, smart as a whip. He knew the game, right? Monet was big time, ruthless, the whole nine. I mean, they both have kind of fizzled out. For we're gonna get there, but this whole Saxe Davis situation, it's just it teased me off. It pisses me off. All of a sudden, Davis is this doof. That leaves his office unlocked, his desk unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
He's not double checking. He's walking in the Saxe office in his firm. This his firm. You got this dude going through your desk, and the dude peep you on the game you and your brother running, and you confess.
I didn't like that either.
That's what I'm saying. To me, they kind of making Brayden out to be like smarter or more cunning than Tariq. And it might just be my own thing, but
So
they're
I
trying
totally
to
agree
make it roll Saxe out like he's smarter than Davis. Like he's got one up on Davis. In real life, Davis would have peeped Saxe so long ago and got rid of him. Come on.
I'm gonna get to that.
In
later.
reality, I agree with you all in the chat that I was waiting for her to pull her phone out and show her call along too, but that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they got so much to lose, man.
But she said that though. She said, I need to make sure that myself, Kane, and you are protected. I'm like, well, what about Drew and Diana? Well, we know she don't give a shit about Diana, but Drew.
Yeah, I need to make sure me, myself, and Kane is protected. Let's call Tariq, the 19-year-old.
Right, let's call Tariq. He'll save the day. Tariq, put your cape on and fly over here. He'll save the day. He's Robin. He's Nightwing.
What you say, Juggernaut?
I said she knows Diana is not out in the street like that.
Diana is for the streets. Dirty Diana is for the streets. Kane is hosting a family dinner and everybody at the penthouse except for Monet. And he's trying to run down his plan on, he's really trying to inform them about what the Obi and them told that, how Diana is going to be their next victim if they don't move his weight. And so he's trying to come up with an idea to get the Castinos, which is their family friends or whatever, or their
cohorts, whatever.
Surrogate family, whatever they were to each other, because they're not real family, but they grew up together, whatever. He wants to take out the brothers. He wants to take Gordo and his brothers out. And Drew's like, are you stupid? Like, I know that we're not close to them anymore, but they still fail. Like, wouldn't it be a better idea to take out the Connect instead? And he's like,
now you're trying to take Drew out like he's a genius.
Anybody is compared to Kane and his dumbass orders.
This scene was the scene that showed why Lorenzo picked Drew over Kane. Immediately.
Facts.
This was the scene that showed it. It showed why he picked Drew over Kane. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, why the hell would you do that? Like, that's so damn dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that's
gonna bring a lot of heat. That's a lot of bodies you try to drop. You try to drop 4 bodies.
Like Drew
You
said,
gotta drop Gorgonzola, Gonzo.
Yeah. That's 4 bodies you got to drop in the streets. And y'all already hot. That would
Again, they're trying to. Okay, that's fine. I still don't see Drew as a leader now. I mean, this is how they're writing it. So they even let him be a top this episode. I guess which is supposed to show a little bit more. He iced somebody last week with a steely cold look on his face, and we're supposed to really be buying Drew as a viable leader. But we got to remember, if somebody held Everett at gunpoint, Drew would fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Like if Everett called right now and said drop everything and come to Carolina, that's where Drew would be. Drew is a weak link. He doesn't have what it takes, and it would be so hot if everything about him stayed the same, but he truly was ruthless. He just isn't.
But he's smarter though.
He's smarter, but I mean,
he thinks immediately. I would rather have that than Kane. It immediately Kane just, oh yeah, we're just gonna take him out, like,
and didn't even think through the consequences of doing that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You're not thinking in the future. Like, you just think about oh yeah, we're gonna do it like this, and that's gonna be it. Like, nah, bro. Like, you don't.
Diana was sitting up in there like, who died and made you? And Lorenzo sitting there.
I said the exact same thing on our thing on Friday. How nobody noticed this man got all these bruises? Ain't nobody asked nothing.
Ain't nobody saying what happened to you.
Same thing with Drew.
Yeah,
I was say the same thing.
It looked like they fought each other, really.
Right. I'm like, in the Power universe, you could be broken, shot, stabbed, beat up, and nobody gonna ask, are you okay?
Well, they knew about Drew though, because Drew had to go home, and they told him, they wanted the guap that did it.
But somebody should be asking Lorenzo what happened, because the last time I saw your face didn't look like that.
It was a good scene though. It was a good scene. It was good mollywhopping. The same mollywhopping he gave Kane in the prison, Kane returned it. So that was a good moment. I'm enjoying watching Kane dog walk Lorenzo.
He is. He's not slow walking it either.
I mean, DeMarcus, that's true, but like Drew said, we don't have the bodies for a war. You
That's
take them
true.
out immediately, it's going to point to you that you took them out. So Drew's way was 10 times easier. Like, yo, take out.
And it moves more weight. That's the most important thing, is that it moves more weight.
Yep.
And they need that weight gone. I don't care how lackadaisy they acting, walking up and down the street like everything is copacetic. To me, they don't really have that level of fear they're supposed to have for Noma and those. And when you don't play it out like that, we don't respect the villains.
Yep. Because especially how they introduced her. I mean, she chopped somebody.
Like she was a bad mama jamma.
Right. They chopped somebody, but you're right. They are not moving with the level of fear that they should have for this connect. So Drew sitting at the table, he texting on Grindr, trying to find his hookup for the night.
That annoyed me.
It annoyed me too. I'm trying to figure out why they're introducing this new character, RSJ, and I'm thinking they could have named this man anything else but RSJ.
I was thinking that too.
The writers couldn't figure out a good name for us, so we'll just call him RSJ. Who's supposed to be this successful tycoon businessman, which they really didn't give that deep of a backstory as to how he amassed his wealth. But he's giving this speech. I guess he's supposed to be, the big tycoon in town. Mm-hmm. I have an issue with this scene right here with Brayden and Tariq sitting at a fucking bar. They are 17, 18, 19 at best. Yeah, let's promote underage drinking. Like,
well,
They kill me trying to age them. They are trying to age their character.
But they got a book backpack every other episode. They're just like, yeah, on my way to the playground.
Right. That part.
But I mean,
Go ahead.
This is what I took from this scene right here. Because if you look at it, Tariq is drinking water. He's drinking lime water.
Nah,
Brayden has the
that's
drink.
vodka and tonic. That's vodka and tonic.
I could be wrong, but when I looked at it as, because that was the first thing I noticed myself. Like, yo, why they at the bar? Because I was like, they like can't be no more than like 19, 20 years old. I was like, they in school. But I looked at it as, because, and like you said, Retro, you might be right. I just never seen a vodka and tonic in a tall glass, but I thought he was drinking water, and because I was like, drinking, but I figured that Brayden was able to get the drink because of his name. You know what I'm saying? He's a Weston, so it's just like
go ahead and give him
they
that.
gonna like, yo, we're gonna serve them because he's a Weston. Like, I could lose my job if I don't serve him because the Weston comes in there all the time.
I understand that, but it's one of the nuances that I have a problem with the show. It's just the whole idea of dressing them up in a suit. These are interns. Why would you take interns to? I mean, I understand why they took Tariq. But at the end of the day, in the reality of things, they should be filing paperwork at the office, making copies. Like, they are trying their best to age their characters, and it just irks me. It irks me.
Yeah, I mean, I see why. I mean,
what really irks me about it is they are trying their best to copy and paste Ghost with Tariq. Now they're dressing up in suits. Now they're putting them in the nice watches and stuff. Like, they're trying their best to redefine Tariq as the next Ghost.
I don't know how when they playing Brayden like he's the genius. I mean, even in this scene where he has to tell him who this guy is, and he's the richest black man in the U.S., the world, or something he said.
Yep.
But you got to tell Tariq who he is. I just don't buy it.
I don't either.
And to me, when you can write black characters as smart, as savvy, every chance you get to do it, do it. I don't understand why we still keep writing characters so weird. I don't know.
Ghost would have knew who that dude was. You remember in that episode where he was rolling up on Fancy, and he rolled up on her business meeting. He read her all the way down. Like, he had already done his research on her and knew who she was.
Yeah, Ghost wouldn't have been at that bar. Ghost would have been working the room.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's also because Ghost and Tariq are
dummy.
Like,
Tariq is a dummy. Go ahead and say it.
Like, Ghost, here's where I think it's different. Where Ghost was trying to become legitimate. So him trying to become legitimate, he's going to know like all of the major players to where I could become legitimate. Whereas Tariq, he's not really concerned about getting out of the lifestyle. So he really wouldn't know RSJ. But I also feel like RSJ, they bring the way they brought him in.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so take Tariq from the classroom. Tariq from the classroom, who always has something deep, insightful, and intelligent to say.
That part.
Outside the classroom, this is what we get. We get this dullard. You know what I'm saying? Who stabs somebody with a steak knife? You know what I'm saying? They fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? Run up on a dude and shoot him in the middle of the street for Brayden.
Yo, support gaming. Ghost was like 50 years old and dead and gone and irrelevant. Let's move on. The fucking show is named Power Book 2 Ghost. So obviously there's a coordination between Tariq St. Patrick and James St. Patrick. They are trying to make Tariq the next Ghost. Say whatever you want to say. It's not irrelevant to me because it was the point I chose to make. Anyway, that shit pissed me off. Moving on to the next scene.
Calm down, Daddy.
Y'all know how I feel about Tariq. I can't stand him. Kiki and Lucas, which I like Lucas. I actually like Lucas.
Oh, gross.
Like, I like how he moved. He kind of reminds me of Simon Stern a little bit, but Lucas he that dude. Like, you know, he knows how to work the crowd. He knows how to work the room. And Kiki was basically like, you know, I'm not really feeling why I'm here. She was like, you know, one black face is just as good as another. So he was like, oh, that's how you feel? He's like, well, you catch a ride home, then. You can find your way home and you catch a ride home.
He said, get you some spa services.
And find a way home.
Okay. She got her way home. She got on a Chanel earring. She got her ride home. Yeah. I feel like Lucas, the same spoon he let his dog lick the peanut butter off of, he would also eat off of. I feel like he eat after his own dog. I mean, if you put flip-flops on him and a torn t-shirt, he's just trailer. I didn't like him in this scene at all. They were doing too much trying to make him smug and, you know what I'm saying, and just savvy. And he just came across real schmarmy to me. Very, very schmarmy. And I think RSJ did a good job. The character that played RSJ did a good job of kind of playing him off like that.
Yeah. Jamarcus, I said the same thing. Like,
really, Virgin Love? I don't see it.
I said the same thing about Ghost Watch Collection. That was part of his inheritance that he had. Ghost Watch Collection. He asked to buy a watch. I said the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Like, why he can wear his daddy watches? Yeah, but yeah, she ain't gonna have a problem catching a ride home. She gonna catch a ride home.
I did like that scene though with RSJ and with Tariq. I thought it was a good moment, a good teachable moment, and I remember the whole conversation from the first time I saw it. I thought it was pretty good. When he said, "Can I ask you a question?" You just did.
I agree, Mr. Jack. We have a lot to learn about Kiki. She has knowledge about the firm Brayden doesn't have. She does have a past relationship with Lucas. I think there's a past relationship with her and Lucas as well. Yep. But what is it about her? Like I said last week,
she's another Carrie Milgram.
No, I don't think she's gonna be another Carrie Milgram. She's a nympho, yeah. But I think that she trying to get to a check.
I mean, we've seen Drew have more sex than Kiki, so I don't know if we can call her a nympho, but I do think she could be fodder. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those characters that they use to move stuff around. Like we got from her that he was using the blacks to influence RSJ. That's what she gave us, and then she turned around and walked out of the scene.
I agree, Miss Sharon. I think he's somehow connected to Norma as well. But let's go back to Kiki. What do y'all think that she's gonna end up working with them?
Yeah.
Y'all think she's gonna end up working with them? I think she's gonna be the one to find out about that building that they're leasing. And
are they leasing, or is it just a floor of Weston? Because you know they got empty floors. She told him that already. So I thought they were on an empty floor in the Weston building.
It is, but remember Brayden said when he was walking into the building, I went into the system and marked it as lease. So
I see.
She's probably going to come across that and find out who's the occupant.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to have to pay her hush money.
Probably true.
They're going to have to end up paying her hush money to keep her quiet about that.
Right. They might not. She might just go on ahead and join them because
that's what I was thinking too. Maybe she's going to start working with them.
You know what I'm saying? At Weston Holdings, she knows like everything, so she might.
Yeah, because she knew about the hidden floors.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, and she got a soft spot for Brayden already, so she might go on here and be like, okay.
And she already know they doing coke in the conference room, so there you go.
Yes. Well, they do coke everywhere.
Yeah, they do it at the desk.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point they'll do it for the clients.
Like, yeah, the church. I mean, they baby shower, just
Kiki want that bag, yo. She trying to find out where that money at. Interesting conversation. What I do like about Brayden, and you're right, Miss Honey, they are writing Brayden to be more smarter than Tariq, because Brayden picked up on the fact that these people that are trying to sell their bunk crypto ain't doing so well. They gonna run this cap no frap through they cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. So they gonna end up working with them. Because Brayden took that idea and ran with it with that cap no frap.
I mean, the caffeine idea was from Tariq, right?
Yeah.
Brayden saw an opportunity to use those individuals after Tariq came to him with the caffeine idea. But for Effie to tell him, yeah, you're pretty smart. This is pretty genius of you. I was like, you ain't even your dude. Your dude is the one that came up with course correct. Your dude is the one that came up with this idea with the false bottom, bringing coffee in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like how they playing it up like that. It kind of teased me off.
Boy, Monet can give you some dirty ass looks. The looks could kill, yo.
Ooh, that hair is so beautiful.
Yo, she just.
Yeah, I can't make her hair do look good.
She did look good this episode. Like, she mad. She mean. Monet mean as hell. Whitman came in and punched all her buttons. Davis told her to be quiet, be still, shut up. And she's like, well, you need.
This is her resting Mary J. Blige face.
Yep, that is her classic look. She ends up tipping her hand by bursting out about the GTG member.
Yep.
And Whitman was like, well, I didn't know that. Let me go check on that. Like, now you gonna give him something else to go dig into. Like, bad move.
And that's why Davis was telling her, be quiet, because like he told her, you got a mouth on you, one, and two, you go off of emotion. And you know what? Sitting here thinking about it, I think like that's why she was always so willing to let Kane run this stuff, because in a sense they're both the same.
Yeah,
because they act off of emotion instead of thinking logically. Their first thing to do, let's just take him out. Like Retro said earlier, she wants Whitman gone.
Oh, she does.
She wants to take him out, but she's not thinking logically. She's thinking off of emotion because he's annoying the hell out of her. So instead
he's getting too close. Getting
close. So instead of thinking logically and be like, yo, how we could take him out, she just wants to go ahead and unalive him. And Kane is the exact same way. So
I mean, she's trying to undo the damage that she did. I mean, you gonna drop the guaps in his lap out of your mouth, knowing that body could turn up. It was just so silly.
That you just dropped at your bar, and you know that he already watching the bar, and knowing that people come in and don't come out. Like, you just gave him a whole nother angle.
It was silly. And Davis acting like he just had no idea what to do. He was just so flustered. I was just like, dude, you're losing control. You're losing control, Davis. Like, you're losing your shine, man. Yeah. Still looks good, but you're losing it.
Yeah.
Diana get her first paycheck, and I guess it's penny change.
that paycheck looking shorter than ant legs.
Ooh.
That paycheck.
I remember them $86 paychecks.
That's probably how much it was too. $83.75.
I remember them little $80 paychecks.
She gonna throw that shit to the side. Like, I can't even do nothing with this. I can't even buy makeup with this little ass.
Okay, I can't put nothing on my Cato charge card.
Shoot,
they gave all us Cato charge cards.
I figured it was like $50, $60.
It might have been Diana's paycheck.
She ain't been working there that long. She just started.
Right. I guess you get paid every week. With her Louis Vuitton jacket on, she with her $86 paycheck.
Exactly. Focus, boy.
Yo, she looking at that check like it needs some help. Her roommate though got her first order of Course Perfect in. You see that, right? Her roommate got her first order in on Course Perfect. And she's like, "There's no way it's not Tariq and Brayden them." And then, of course, Effie Diana getting her bag about that because she didn't know nothing about Course Perfect being ran up through that school. So she got to go.
Well, by this time, she'd already had the meeting at the house with Kane and her dad and Drew. So she knows that she's gotta be a part. They don't have any other members to sling the drugs, so she knows she's got to sell. I thought she asked her that so she could know who her competition was, only to find out that it was Effie. So Effie won up in you in the drug game and in the dude game.
Yeah. But I feel like what it should be Effie should be older than Diana, and Diana should be younger. That's how it should be, because Effie is way more smarter and move a lot smarter than Diana. Diana, you got a lot to learn, but Diana thinks she got this thing lit, and she don't. And I feel like because Diana's involved and up there at that school, things are going to get much worse now, because her little nosy ass is going to go plundering into some shit that she ain't got no business messing around in, and going to create more problems up there at that school. Watch what I say.
Yeah, I think so as well. As well.
And that's how much Diana check was, $109.
But honey, she was only going off what Kane told her about it being hot. So she was just trying to figure out like who was moving it or whatever. I don't think it was no competition or something, like, because remember, Poppy don't come, and I hate every time she says that. It annoys the hell out of me. But I don't think she knew what Lorenzo don't come to the end, don't he? To tell her like, yo, we gotta move. Like, we gotta move.
To pass his work off on her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's near the end, but
I mean, Diana should have been selling weed a long time ago. That's the most innocuous hustle. And you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody had a little hookup in college, like that. I don't know.
Xavier, that's a good point. She did raise them to be criminals, but they do not have any idea how to function as adults. You see that with Kane, you see it with Diana, even with Drew. Yeah, even with her, they don't even know how to function as adults.
No, because the number one thing she would have told Kane, Drew, and Diana if they went in to see the police was say nothing.
Nothing. Remember, she got on Zeke ass about when he was down there at the police. You know that you don't say shit. You don't say nothing. You don't.
Yep.
You should have even went in for the talk. To me, I feel like Monet's character, if that would have been Rock wouldn't have went in for no talk. Like,
and I think being Monet's daughter, I agree with Mr. Jackal. She should have just, first of all, I wouldn't have brought Tariq up. I wouldn't have brought Tariq up to Effie at all. It is what it is, right? Like, she got your dude, right? Your dude ain't even checking for you. He ain't even talking to you this season. Okay, that's fine. You know your family in a pinch. They in a bind. Okay, let's work this. Let's run this. You know what I'm saying? I got woo to woo to woo. What's my profit? What we gonna do? How, you know what I'm saying? She should have brought herself in on it. But for her to storm off like, I don't want to be a part of my family. Girl, get off it. Get off it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, Diana gonna end up getting everybody caught up. When she started moving that way, when he gave her that bag, I was thinking to myself, that is the wrong thing to do.
Once a snitch, always a snitch.
But I think, like Mr. Jackal said, she's going to go to Effie for help.
Yeah.
Or I think, I can't think of her name, Brayden's sister is going to end up helping her to move that product.
I told y'all that. I said that. I said that little girl going to end up helping her with their work.
You definitely said that. Said that.
Or either
white savior. She's going to be the white savior.
Yep, she's going to be the white savior. Yep. So we at the penthouse and the family is having a meeting. Well, the crew is having a meeting or whatever. They trying to Tariq and Brayden are updating Kane and Drew on their newest endeavor, Cap No Frap. And they were like, well, y'all go ahead and sell y'all little Bitcoin and y'all little baristas. We're gonna be out in the streets. And basically Kane pretty much solicits Brayden to go ahead and take care of his problem for him.
Right.
And Drew's like, listen, y'all gonna have to learn how to handle y'all own business on y'all own and stop calling on us for help. Because, like, listen, we the one who catching these bodies. Y'all ain't. So I feel them on that. I really do feel them on that because, like, listen, if some shit go down, we going down for the murders, not y'all.
Right. So, best time to get your hands dirty. We've been doing it for y'all. Y'all, it's time for you to do it for yourself.
Right. And y'all gonna move this work.
I mean, you gonna stop being so silly. You know what I'm saying? Once you take a life, once you do this thing, like go hardcore, you're gonna stop being so silly. For him to stand in front of the Nigerians and be like, well, we really only sold like a third. Like, what mother?
Like, I wanted Obi to chop him in the throat right there.
It's childish. He should have been jumped in. I said that in my review. They should have jumped him in.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? He needs to feel some pain. He needs to be mollywopped.
Yep. A few more times. Yep. You would have thought he would have learned his lesson when Kane took him down there to that hood, but like Marvin said, it's just like a adrenaline rush.
No, he needs his butt crack. He needs his butt crack sliced. You know what I'm saying? Every time you
Oh,
move it, you feel it.
Damn, it's
God,
hurting.
that graphic as hell.
I know.
This is like crack slice. Every time you
Like,
move, you'll feel it. You know what I'm
made me
saying? Like
punch
it's
up
gonna bring
close.
back to your remembrance.
God.
This thing is serious. You play too much. You play too
Like,
much.
just to hear it, just whew. But yeah, like I said, I can't remember. I don't know if it was the last show or the show before that. Yeah, he think it's a game. It's an adrenaline rush for him. It's a game, and he's happy that he keeps getting through it. He keeps getting by. Like he hasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like he ain't had to do nothing. He hasn't got caught. So
Yep.
it's an adrenaline rush. But I think like I said earlier, Kane now is at the point like, yo, you got to get your hands dirty. Like, yeah, you might be laundering and you might have told on yourself that you're the one who was running course correct, but you still ain't got your hands dirty because you're not doing this. And I also, this is just my feeling, I also think that Kane thinks or even feels he did not unalive Lauren.
Oh yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
telling him,
Yeah.
yo, handle this. I think he has that feeling like you ain't take her out like the way you said you did.
I mean, I think Tariq could use a good molly whopping. Y'all remember when Kanan and Ghost got to fighting in that warehouse before it caught on fire? And Kane was wearing that behind. I mean, Kanan was wearing that behind out. I
Man.
think Tariq is just being a real flip about how he's moving around in these streets too. Like to me, he's not taking it serious. To me, the real serious characters on here is Effie. I find that Effie's character has more of a serious standpoint, and at times Kane, you know what I'm saying, he might not be the smartest, but he's been working this thing and working to this goal for a minute.
No, I think Tariq is
Brayden
great.
did help get rid of Ramirez's body, but it was under duress. He was threatened into
I
doing
mean,
it.
but I think at the same time though, I think he does take it serious because you got to look how many bodies Tariq has dropped.
He dropping one every episode, seems like now.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah,
he
Tariq did
definitely
come out of
thinks
here.
it's serious. Like
Well, maybe I think he don't take it serious because he leaves quite a bit of evidence.
And he's sloppy.
Every time he do something, he leave evidence.
Yep.
yeah, he's super sloppy. I will say that he is super sloppy.
So they having a meeting down at David's office, and of course they got to get Tariq's POV. They can't make a plan unless they got Tariq's POV. So, but that's a shout out to that Celine jacket though. That jacket is fire. You know?
Yeah,
That jacket is
it
fire. I
is
like
dope.
that jacket is dope.
What about the lumberjack jacket?
Yeah, that's heat right there. I'm not really big on Celine, but I like that. That's dope. So
That's
Monet
true, Mr.
basically
Jackson.
tell him to keep his head on a swivel, and that he need to sit still and be quiet, and that they're looking into Dante, and that you need to stay away from that penthouse, which he's not, and you need to lay low, which he's not going to.
Why would you have this conversation with Tariq, but not your own son?
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. Like, you need to be telling, well, really, somebody should have had that same conversation with Diana. Like, somebody should be letting Diana know she's getting no updates on what's going on. And
Yeah, to me, that's the conversation they should have been having at the dinner table, not who's in charge, but this is very serious. Like,
Yes.
these people have got us under a microscope.
I think the reason, this is just me, I think the reason she had the conversation with Tariq because she feels like at any time Whitman can come at Tariq because remember, he was supposedly quote unquote tutoring Zeke.
Yep.
So Whitman's whole angle is Zeke, Carrie being unalive. So I think that's why she went to him because she knows, and I think she also knows, like, yo, Whitman's not gonna go to her sons or anybody else because they're not gonna say anything. But he was the direct link between her and Zeke, and also Carrie was his teacher. So I think that's why she went to him, like, yo, watch your back, because this dude is just he out here, like he doing any and everything. But
And
that
that's
was
why-
just my take
that's
as to why she asked for why she specifically called him and didn't tell her sons.
And that's why I feel like he gonna come back. He gonna come ask Tariq a bunch of questions.
Yeah, but I mean, I do agree. I think Brayden is riding the fence, and right now Tariq is not bothered by picking up the slack, but eventually going to get into a situation where Brayden's going to have to pull his own weight. Like, I can't be here to save your ass every time you get in the jam. So like, you're going to have to, do your thing.
I said that he gonna be put in faced with a situation where he gonna have to drop that hammer on his own.
Talking about Brayden.
Yep. Yeah, he gonna have to do it on his own at some point. He gonna have to do it on his own.
Yeah, he needs a memory trigger. Broken thigh bone, sliced butt crack, either one. I don't care.
Oh, you gotta chill with that.
I don't even know what to say about you, Miss Honey. You just
say that. It just, right? It just. Whew.
But Saxe is walking by and see that they're having a meeting, and he takes a picture. We already know that he's going to send that picture to Jenny, so we already know what's up with that. The crew are back at, I guess, maybe Tariq's dorm, and they're kind of talking about what's up. And of course, Effie's they're updating Tariq on how they have to unalive the Russian Connect at Kane's behest. And Effie pretty much tell him, like, look, you got to do it. It's time for you to man up. You're going to have to do this. And then, of course, Tariq avails their services and say that, we'll be there to cheer you on for your first body. And I'm like, I knew right then and there this wasn't going to go well. I knew right then and there.
But I'm scared.
Scared. Come with me. So we see Effie got her system up and going. She moving at work. And you got Dirty Diana lurking in the stairwell, trying to check her and confront her about some information. I would have told her, get out of my face. I ain't got to tell you shit. I have business.
It just made her look so weak. Effie really played her off and was like, girl, work with us to come get this money. I know you ain't worried about a dude. Come get this money. But she don't really want nothing from Effie right now. But she gonna have to reapproach.
She's gonna have to ask her for some help. Effie is a little bit hypocritical, but I don't think it's more so intentional. I just think that she doesn't realize that she's really in the same predicament that Brayden is with Tariq. I mean, you lying to him and you manipulating him, where while you're trying to check Brayden on his manipulating Tariq, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing because she tried to tell him like, he's gonna be mad when he find out that you got rid of that internship. Well, you also unalived the love of his life, and what's gonna make it worse with Effie is the fact that she laying with him right now. So it's like
that's why I think she gonna end up with Kane though.
Yeah, because
Lauren's gonna come back.
Yep,
he's gonna be with Lauren, and she's gonna end up with Kane by default.
Yep.
And therefore we're gonna see what a true sociopath Effie really is. She's my favorite character this season.
That point right there, Xavier. Effie warned Diana away from Tariq and got rid of his girlfriend. So she's no better than an abusive partner. Yeah, she manipulated the situation to her advantage.
She's a sociopath, I'm telling you.
I mean, to me, this scene, she was just nosy. I was like, bruh, like.
You can see the age difference too here in terms of the characters, because to me, Effie looks younger than Diana, but you can just, in terms of maturity, you can see the difference here.
Even though I don't like Diana, sorry, Marvin. Even though I don't like Diana, I do kind of feel like her and Tariq gonna end up together. She's actually a better fit for him.
Nah.
I'm with Miss Honey. Nah.
Effie was a good fit for him until he betrayed his trust. He ain't gonna get over that.
Diana's too whiny and she's too needy.
That is true. True.
And when she gets upset, she gets petty. He cannot have a snitch
and messy. She get petty and messy.
Yeah,
you're right.
He cannot.
You're right.
She gets, and like I said, in that scene, it was like, why did what I didn't understand about that scene was if you wanted absolutely nothing to do with the family business, why did you care who was moving product on Stansfield? So it was like, yo, you're just being nosy. You went there. Why? You said you wanted nothing to do with the family business and all of that. You want to be out of it, but yet you're still trying to go and see, oh, who is this that's moving product? Why you
Right.
moving
If
product?
Tariq get with Diana, he might as well just go to the jailhouse, open up a cell, and step in, or go to the graveside and dig a grave and lie down, because that's where Diana's gonna get him, jail or dead.
Exactly.
Effie's a rider.
She a rider, yep.
For real, Xavier? Black don't crack, because Lord, I thought she was every bit
kidding me?
like her early 20s.
Well, so it's Jukebox. Jukebox, I don't think
Get
Jukebox
off
is
this
in her
camera,
30s, but Jukebox is you know, she looks young, so she could be, but I don't know. All right, DJ, you want to talk about our new Theo Rollins? He hit me up on Thursday, like, bro, did you know they recasted him? I was like, yeah.
It ain't gonna say it pissed me off. It just annoyed me because it's just like, and I get recastings happen, but it was just like, yo, like, how y'all just like, it was almost like there was no information to them saying, oh yeah, Theo Rollins thing has been recasted. It's just like, you just watch this joint show up. Who the hell is this dude? Like, who dude? I don't know, dude. I ain't never seen him, etc. Whatever, and they just recast him. I was just like why?
Where is Redman?
This thing right here, though, like, I didn't like it because, in a way, Theo dry snitched.
He did.
I don't think Saxe knew Davis was his brother until he said that.
He did. And
He
I
did?
feel like, no, he didn't. And I feel like Davis should have, or would have, probably had already schooled Theo what to say and what not to say if somebody come up there asking questions. Like that was too amateurish for him to say that like that. I felt like that he wouldn't have said that. Like he should have been conditioned on what to say if anybody come asking questions.
I mean, I don't know that I agree. And the reason why is because all of this is information. If Saxe was on his job from the time Davis told him to get on this case, he would have known.
That's true.
He would have known, because when Davis confessed, he was like, yeah, I was, did he say something about playing a sport and he was going to be going to school? He could have found out everything about that case, people surrounding that case. He could have looked into this dude's family. You know what I'm saying? All he had to do was look and see who his mama, his daddy, his brothers, if he had any family, any of that stuff. I mean, the Nigerians know Effie ain't got nobody. How he wouldn't know that he got a brother?
But I feel like it's the same thing as a Joe Proctor situation where Davis changed his last name and probably, did everything he did to cover up his backstory.
He didn't change his last name. They just got two different daddies. You know how it works in our culture.
Yeah, that part too.
But yeah,
his daddy named Rollins and Davis' daddy named David.
Now, since Redman ain't on the show no more, he can stay in jail. I'm not interested in the character anymore. He can stay in jail.
Redman really looked the part to me.
Yeah. Well, it was great to get a reunion with them. That's what I was looking forward to.
I'm sure they're going to be talking about it on social media, like what happened to Redman. I'm sure it's going to come out.
Yep.
DeMarcus said because he didn't want to take the COVID shot. Huh?
He didn't want to take the COVID.
I mean, that could be true.
That seems like it's true. It feels very true what you're saying.
And it feels very Redman-like.
But I would think, like, at the same time, I'm thinking, like, but why though? Because he had already did a whole season, like, at that point, like.
He wasn't even a recurring character last season, so he was just here and there.
And he was only in the room with Davis.
Davis, yeah. So
they keep their scenes very small.
we get a little backstory with Parker and Rashad. We find out that they used to date, and that Rashad, by his own admission, says that this is the first serious relationship I had. And
she's so beautiful.
She broke up with him for probably being Tate, and he just been running through women ever since. So, am I the only one not interested in this story? Not interested. I don't care.
I think it's scenes from Tate's show that flopped, that never got off the ground.
You know what, Miss Honey? Big fact.
But honestly, this is me. I honestly am glad that they didn't do the Tate show, because I honestly don't think the Tate show would have lasted, because it's just like he's nothing more than like a crooked politician. Like that would it would only been so much
just
they
a sleazeball.
And it would have been just like us watching Ghost season 4, season 5, or whatever, because they would have had to bring other characters on over to his show in order for it to, we wouldn't watch it if it was just him and a whole bunch of new characters. They would have had to bring other cast members over, and it would just be like, this show right here is really extension of Power. I mean, this is an extension of Power because it's got so many of the same cast in it from Power. It just feels like I'm watching Power and not another installment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Retro. I don't really care, but I think that backstory needed to be told, because I think somehow, some way, she's going to come into this as far as like his campaign, as far as like her being a teacher at Stansfield, like somehow, some way, she's going to somehow, some way come into this. So I feel like that needed to be told.
Go ahead and drag them, Miss Honey, because I know you are. Go ahead and drag
Jenny and Blanca look like a couple of lesbian Karens.
I knew it.
You know what I'm saying? The way they rolled up on him and he just yielded up all the information. I'm like, you're slicker than this. I mean, you went pound for pound with Ghost, the original Ghost, man, and you let these two Karens roll up on you, and you just like, oh, Tariq's social security number is 555.
I also felt like he did that on purpose.
Yeah, and sent him on his way. He's so smarmy.
Get him off my case and on somebody else's. That's what that was. Get him off my face. Get him out of my face and get somebody else's.
And I also felt like he was dry snitching on Brayden to have them look at Brayden versus.
He sent him straight to Weston.
Yep.
He sent him straight to Weston Holdings.
Yep. I feel like how they got Jenny dressed in this scene right here is very 90-ish.
When I saw it, I kept sitting there thinking like, yo, why she got that around her neck?
Yeah,
well, she looks like a knockoff Barbie doll. You know how they made them with the cheap hair, like the flip. I don't know about Barbie dolls, but yeah.
She's a knockoff Angela Valdez is who she is.
Gross.
Way more savvy than she
I think Lauren is a knockoff Angela Valdez.
Okay, so Brayden comes up with this. They didn't do this right. They didn't do. You remember that scene where Ghost dropped the dudes that was trying to unalive Tommy out in front of the church? He moved in secrecy and silence. Like you can't.
His feet should have never stopped moving. Excuse me, did you order pierogies? Because I love pierogies. They're a little potato and a little meat. And I was like, just shoot the dude and keep going. Your feet should never stop moving.
Yeah, you should have never approached this man face to face.
Oh, stupid. I was so frustrated.
That dude was texting his people, his ride, his handlers, his workers, and they was like, we about to pull up. When they pulled up, they were sitting there watching the whole time. Because he made a comment to Brayden, was like, is that your car over there? Are they with you? And Brayden turned around and said, oh yeah, they with me. Dummy, that's his security. So they sat there and watched the whole thing go down.
I was so confused about that. I was just like, is Brayden's car blocking them? Is his car in the street?
No,
why is Effie and those standing over in the just right off the both of them? I was like, dude, it's a lot of y'all on this street. I don't care how they tried to cover it up. Y'all on like 6 or 7.
The Koreans that tried to take out Tommy. Yeah, Ghost was moving silent. Ghost popped them off real good and disappeared.
You would have walked right past him, and next thing you know, you just seen this dude drop.
Right. They didn't recon this good because really, to be quite honest with you, if it would have been Tommy would have dropped them right there inside the church.
Well, they couldn't really recon it because it was such last minute. Because remember, Drew was the one that said, "Yo, we got to take them out before we got to take the connect out before they do their meet." So they didn't have a lot of time for recon. I automatically knew this scene was just about to go
a blunder.
I was like, it's gonna go wrong because one
mess.
It was his car that was blocking them, and you saw it in the text like, "Hey, there's a car blocking." I knew it was his car. Number one, two. As soon as I saw Tariq and Effie, I said, "Yo," I said either he gonna freeze up, or I was like,
that part. Who goes to commit a murder in your car?
I don't think
that's what I'm saying. They're on like 6 or 7 cameras. It's just no way around that. They might not bring it up. It might not be a storyline, but we know that it's so.
I mean, we might not have known that was his actual car because they never went back to that car. But I mean, I figured like, yo, either he's gonna freeze up, or I actually thought at one point, dude was gonna end up shooting, like Brayden was gonna end up getting shot.
I thought so too.
And then that's when Tariq and Effie was gonna come in, pop dude, and then you know what I'm saying. Like I didn't think he was gonna die, but I figured it was probably somewhere like, yo, he got shot in the shoulder, something like that, or whatever. But yeah, this whole scene, I just knew automatically.
I did think it was smart for them to go get in the restaurant and make reservations. I was like, oh, I don't know if I would have thought of that.
Now that was smart. Tariq comes in, he drops them, and they run off, and they run to the restaurant. Tariq gets them a table. He gives the waiter a tip, and they get to the table and they have a nice family dinner.
Yeah, them Russians will tune you up. They don't have a crew. Yeah, them Russians will tune you up now. That'd be real nice if Brayden got tuned up by a Russian.
Yo, Xavier.
Or Ukrainian. Ooh.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, yo, why they didn't take out the other two knowing that they seen you run across the street and take dude out?
Yeah.
I was thinking
plus nobody would have known then. Those were supposedly your only witnesses.
And
I mean, they're not professional hitters. I mean, they still are kids. And I mean, Tariq got what, maybe a handful of bodies, so you can't expect them to say, "Yeah, we're gonna hit this experienced Russian security and knock them off."
That's why I didn't say it. I thought it would have been nice, but they just don't have the capacity.
Yeah, the guys in the car, they saw everything. That's why they were able to.
He's gonna be able to get it.
That's why they were able to tell Gordo and them that it was a black person that took out the connect. But they sat there and watched the whole thing. I think they're too quintessential. I don't think that Effie and Tariq saw them in the car.
They didn't.
Okay, but even as soon as he popped them, it's
they
no way they didn't see those two dudes coming out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Immediately, I would have saw them like, oh, yo, we got to take them out real quick because they're witnesses. They running over here for something. Like, it's impossible. And at the same time, I was thinking like, yo, if you're backing up Brayden, why would you have your face exposed?
None of them should have had their face exposed. Yep.
You ain't have on a mask, like a hoodie, nothing. Like,
it was so out in the open. I was like, and by the time, I mean, everybody knows it was a black guy there was a white guy there, but there's a black guy shot it. Like everybody kind of knows what's up.
And we may have gotten our answer in this scene right here. Who's gonna spray up that funeral? We may have gotten that answer on who's gonna spray the funeral up in that trailer.
That's right.
It's gonna be the Russians.
Right. What did y'all think about this conversation? He went on and on about Tasha. Like he really, really loves his mom.
I'm not even gonna comment. I'll let y'all talk about
it. But see, this was also the scene that made me think that, yo, Effie is moving weight, or she owes somebody. Like she's doing extra money for something else. Because
she said she always had a number so she could pay all her bills. She always kept a number.
The thing was, when he asked, she never said the number. It's just like, yo, you're just like, okay, so you have a number, and then I can't even remember. Like she kind of switched gears when he brings it up. So it was just like, why are you switching gears? That kind of made me think like, yo, like you you doing something else that Tariq don't know about, or it's another reason why you're trying to do this extra, trying to get this extra bread. But that's just me though. I guess.
I mean,
she flipped the script on him because when he was talking to her about leaving, getting out of it, she was talking to him like, "Don't you want to get out?" And you know what I'm saying, made it about him, and that's when he started talking about how his mom taught ghost and all that. So I think that it could very well be an ulterior motive with her.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because remember when she took the drugs to the Asian girl, and the Asian girl, I thought she was asking about class until I watched it for the second time, and she was like, "Effie, you still haven't started selling? Like, what are you thinking? Is this some more Tariq bullshit? Like, you can't let him get you off of your game. Like, you got to get these drugs." So that's how she came across. I was like, it was almost like, you still haven't written your paper?
Yeah.
There's a lot that we don't know about. There's a lot Tariq doesn't know about Effie. I agree with that. And there's a lot that we don't know about Effie.
Which I think makes her one of our more interesting characters because she isn't silly. She's slightly mature than all of them. I mean, she peeps game very, very well. Even when it comes
usually in shows like this, they show us who the real character is. They show us the character's real intentions or motives or whatever the case may be. They're keeping that very close to the chest. Partly because Effie was never a real main character. She was always kind of like a supporting character. Recurring character or whatever, so they never fully develop her character. So I think they're developing it as the seasons go. So
who was the character in season 1, the girl with the sneakers? Who was that?
Just a random that Kane had hired through what was the name of the game?
Killer, though, what was
the name of the game?
I'm trying to remember the game myself, and
because Julio had it tattooed on him. DeMarcus or Xavier probably remember.
But she was a killer. Like, she was a hired hand.
Yeah, she was a hired hand.
I could see Effie becoming like one of those type of killers, and I could see her being after Tariq. Like, all signs point to her pink sneakers. Thank you, DeMarcus. All signs point to her letting her guard down, trusting Tariq. And the way he's probably gonna turn on her when he finds out about Lauren, I think we're gonna see a different side of Effie. Now, I might be getting my hopes up because I've been begging for a strong female villain for a minute, but I would love to see Effie be that.
Brayden needs some of Carlton's meds because he had a whole panic attack and texted Katie and said that it's done. And he's having a whole anxiety attack at the restaurant. He needs a glass of water and some Xanax.
I thought he was going to throw up.
I thought he was too. I thought he was going to pass out. I'm scared. Drew coming downstairs and his grinder is 20 feet away.
Okay.
He don't seem the least bit concerned about that.
Bro, when I saw that, I was like,
his grinder is 20 feet away because Garbanzo is in the elevator.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but it was weird because I was like, apps can do that. Like,
oh yeah. No comment, but yeah. That's how you find somebody in the middle of the day when you just need a quick little reach around.
Okay. Gordo and his brothers show up, and they like, listen, Kane, we can't prove it, but we know you had something to do with it. Like, they just.
I wasn't buying the Gorgonzola or.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy them either. They could have casted them fellas a little bit better because they don't even look like. I would laugh at those dudes.
Then they walk 2 feet away to discuss it.
Yeah, they don't look good at all.
Yo, okay, because that's okay.
Like they walk the halls in a high school, man.
Yeah,
what's wrong with these dudes? They don't look street.
Yeah.
First time I watched it, I was lost though because I don't know why. I thought the family was Italian, and then when I watched it the second time, then I remember back like, oh, that's right, Lauren Velez, that is their mama. And that's when it clicked like, oh, okay, they're not Italian. But yeah, they ain't look like street dudes at all. But this whole scene was just, I don't know. They wasn't believable.
And then to make one of them to be Drew's next whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Gordo is going to be Drew's next whatever. And it's why?
But why did Kane say which one of you guys voted against it?
You know why?
Why did he say that?
He's going to unalive.
Yep, I knew that immediately.
Out of here.
I hope it's Garbanzo.
He gonna get him up out of here. And you know what, Miss Honey? That's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be another love interest for Drew that the family gonna be against.
Yeah, there might be another body for Drew. They trying to make Drew out to be this hardcore type individual. So give him another body.
Lorenzo came through
Peter.
and saved the day and backed up Kane's story, further cementing that Kane is not prepared to handle business. He sat there and sunned Lorenzo the whole episode, but Lorenzo had his back, cleaned up his mess. So they're going to end up doing business together, whatever. Kane gets in his feelings and tell his dad that, you know what, you need to go move more work now.
The way he pointed, like, go get that.
Yeah, right now.
Lorenzo was like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Oh, no, you finna wash these dishes.
Right. That's exactly what yeah.
Go clean up that room.
Though. Go ahead, Joe.
Go clean up that room.
On everything, though, I literally thought this is where they was about to go at blows. And Lorenzo was going to stand his ground like, yeah, I know you holding this over my head, but you're not just about to be talking or treating me any type of way. So I was actually surprised, or I thought he was going to bring up like, yo, I just saved you. Like, I literally just saved you from them thinking that you had something to do with it. So I'm not even about to do this. But, of course, he folded. So I was kind of surprised. I was surprised by that. For that scene right.
He told Lorenzo to go clean his room. He told Lorenzo to go clean his room.
Clean your room up right now.
Kane is missing all the cues. Like I love it. I love it because I want to see Lorenzo get sun. Like I get some enjoyment from it. But at the same time, you got to sleep with one eye open when you move like this. And I just feel like he think he's too much of a bulldog for somebody to take him down. Like everybody's supposed to be afraid of him, but your dad is the one that gets closer to you than anybody. Like you need to stay woke.
You need to stay woke because Lorenzo is tired.
All you need is Lorenzo and Drew to pull together with Diana, and you out.
And listen, when he grabbed that bag and he got ready to get on the elevator and he laughed, I saw, he tired. He's like, listen, I'm gonna flip this.
Yeah.
He took it right over to the Diana, was like, sell this.
Now he ain't shit for that. Now he really ain't shit for that. He took it right over to the Diana and said, go to work. I still run this shit.
Can we just have a moment?
He really delegated the delegation.
Yep. I was very surprised that they had Davis confess. I was really surprised. I thought he was going to jump to the chase, but he did. I was very surprised that he confessed.
Even a juxtaposition to how they're standing, it's almost like he's in this place of explaining himself to the man. I didn't care for it at all. I did enjoy the muscles. The muscles were very, very enjoyable. But him confessing, I was like, what? You're a defense attorney.
What I took from the scene is he's still playing Saxe. Like he put it out there because he's like, yo, because that's how
is Saxe his attorney? Is Saxe his attorney? Because if he isn't, that's just a conversation that they have. Saxe don't have to keep it private.
I mean, Saxe doesn't, but he also, I mean, it's like, okay, so like Saxe didn't know that was his brother. So when he brought it up, he's like, okay, at this point, he knows. But I still feel like he was playing Saxe as a fiddle, like he's been doing the entire time, along with like the Tariq case, everything else. I don't think he trusts Saxe 100%. I think
I don't know. He told him quite a bit, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but with him making the statement to him, and basically having that whole conversation where it was a confession. I just think that he, at some point he gonna use that. He gonna use that against Saxe.
I think that he had to tell him.
Yeah,
Because he knew that Saxe don't figured it out. So him lying and sidestepping would not have kept Saxe working on the case for him, would not have kept him in his trust zone. So in order for him to keep Saxe on a shorter leash, he had to tell him the truth.
Yeah, that's what I said. I feel like he's playing him like a fiddle, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll tell him all of this," because I think even though,
and you're right, quintessential, it changed his attitude. Yep, it changed his approach to it.
It changed his approach. I think that even though he's not his attorney, I think there's still, and I could be wrong, I can't remember. I took this up in criminal law when I was in school. I think even though still Saxe can't reveal that, because of the simple fact he's working for his law firm. Like it's some type of, it's not attorney-client privilege, but it's
we'll
more
see
so
next
like,
time they talk. We'll see next time he talked to Jenny.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get Jenny's panties. And if he really wants that, all he got to do is give Davis up.
And he's going to.
Well, yeah, of course he's going to Jenny, but I'm saying like he can't go directly to the police and be like, hey, y'all got the wrong dude in court. Like this is the person that did it. Like, I'm not sure, but I don't think he can actually go and do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. Just throwing him a little bone to keep him vested. He don't trust him. I'm not here for this either. I'm not here for them two having any type of love connection or whatever. Like,
look at that pointed chin. You can write a whole paragraph with that chin.
You just want Dirty Diana gone. So
I do want her gone, but I just feel like this ain't the type of guy that Diana would go up for. It's not believable. The storyline is not believable. I don't even know what they were talking about in this scene, to be quite honest with you. I really don't.
I thought they were just kissing it. It was so awkward. Like I was like, is she straddle him? Like, are you just going to lean over in front of him? What is it's so awkward? I mean, kissing takes a little rhythm anyway, but it was weird.
I believe before they started kissing, they were
now
talking
he do
about
look Kinonoma in this scene.
her family again.
He looks sick.
Yeah, he was talking about the family. He was talking about the family again.
I thought he was talking about the family again.
He was talking about the family.
Oh, was he?
I believe so.
He was talking about the family again before they kissed. And that's what made me think, like, yo, if he ain't working for Noma, it's something.
He working for somebody.
He's trying to get this information
for somebody.
I thought Kane was going to pop up. Or matter of fact, I thought it was going to be Kane. And then when I saw Lorenzo, I was like, oh. I was like, damn. I was like, okay.
I thought Lorenzo was going to run them hands on him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought this was going to be an exchange real quick.
And that would have been a perfect scene if he would have ran them hands on him, because that would have got a lot of his frustration out with how Kane had been sunning him all episode. I really thought that Lorenzo was getting ready to give him some work.
I thought Lorenzo was going to bake him some cookies. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was going his elbows down, like something a mom would do.
Bring over a casserole. Yeah, he brought over a casserole. It's dinner. Yeah,
he a little sleep out his eyes.
But in to Diana's point, I mean, he was manipulating her, and she knew that she was being manipulated as well, but she just went along with it because it was her father. But she knew that he was running game.
I think, to me, in this scene, it was to try to show that, like, yo, I'm still running the show.
I still got control.
Yeah, because remember at the dinner, she was like, yo, like, her and Drew looked at each other like, yo, what's up? Like, all of a sudden now, like, Kane is the top dog. So I think it was him trying to show, like, hey, I'm still running the show.
Oh, I never really thought about it like that. It makes sense now.
Yeah, and I need you to do this for me. Like I don't have a choice, which is true. He didn't have a choice, but I think he was trying to reel her back in to show her, like, yo, I still run the family. It's not Kane.
You right, Jeremiah. As long as she ain't with Tariq, he don't care who she with. Right.
Because if that was Kane that had brought that to her, she wouldn't have done it.
Nope.
Or even if it was Drew, she wouldn't have done it.
I mean, maybe when he walk up on Monet kissing Tariq, he'll have a little bit more.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Ooh.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think that's. Nah, I don't.
She seemed very enamored with Tariq, and everybody's playing Tariq like he's older than what he is. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if she, in a moment of fragility, she went to kiss Tariq, and he was like, "Oh, ma'am."
I think it was just because of the simple fact that she did that. Tariq did.
I didn't need Mr. Jackal. I didn't like that either.
And she was about
that made him an ain't shit father for real. I mean, he already is. I'm sorry.
They got an inappropriate relationship.
I was thinking the same thing. I didn't like that scene either. But like I said, I looked at it as he was trying to show her because she was having doubts about him being the head of the family. And I felt like he did that to show her, like, yo,
it does make sense.
The head of the family, so I need you to do this just for me. That's how I took it.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Outside.
Juggernaut, get your boy. Go outside and have a
window down. Like,
you can't sit outside my house like that. You're gonna be in trouble.
I mean, he's sitting in the front door. At the front door.
Or hanging out the window and everything. Yeah.
What is that, a Dodge?
Like that.
Yeah, it looks like a Dodge Durango. Yeah, it looks like a Durango. He just posted up. Like, if what they should have had her do was roll up the window shade. What they really should have had her do was roll up the window shade and flick them off. And that would have been priceless.
I mean, what is he waiting to bring a body rolled out in a rug out the front? Like,
you're right, Jeremiah. Monet looks at Tariq more as a son, and the son that she don't got with Kane or Drew.
Maybe because Zeke is gone. He's going to be.
And actually, she does. You know what, Jeremiah? That's a really bigger plot point than you think, because she looks at Tariq as he's both of her sons mixed. You know, he's got the smarts of Drew and the ruthlessness of Kane, so he's the perfect son. Yep. That's why Kane can't stand his ass, because he knew that his mom looks at Tariq like that.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And this scene, I also felt like, I think that I don't think he's waiting for anything or trying to.
Just letting his presence be known.
Yep, that's all it was. He was just letting her, like, yo, I'm watching you, just so you know. Yep. Like, just to try to get her to react off emotion and do something stupid.
Yep.
Agreed. She get on the phone, call Davis, like, listen, what's going on? Davis like, well, he's supposed to be on desk duty. She was like, well, he parked outside my curb right now. Yep, Tariq is her favorite child.
He on the beat.
Yep, her favorite child after Zeke. Yep, totally agree. Totally agree. She took a picture of it. I'm like, you could just download the DVR footage. I mean, on my camera, I have a cloud. So they at the I don't even know if this is supposed to be a coffee shop, a cafeteria, a restaurant. I don't know what the hell it is, but they get ready to set up shop, cap no frap. And I'm just trying to figure out who will do the coffee deliveries. Y'all ain't got no workers.
That's what Tariq ran off to get something, right? Like the coffee machine or something. The bean grinder, that's what it was.
Yeah, y'all do have to sell coffee, you know. So who will be making?
I love this dude coat that Effie has on too.
I think if I remember, I don't know, they might not have spoke about it, but I think like they're gonna do it like course correct. Like it's gonna be somewhere where you just go and pick up your coffee. Like they're not nothing like that.
They gonna make deliveries though. But who gonna make them? I don't know. But they gonna make deliveries.
They wouldn't do deliveries because they didn't want to deal with the hand to hand.
Yeah, no, they didn't want to take cash on delivery. They're gonna have to do deliveries, but the difference is they're making them buy it. And you know, Starbucks does this now. Starbucks does this now, where some Starbucks locations, especially like the busier ones, you purchase the coffee on the app.
And you just go pick it up when you go inside and get it.
Yeah, you just go inside and get it. So that's what this is going to be. No cap, all frap. Xavier, what we said last week, we said that was a whack ass name, and it is too. No cap, all frap. They got them numbers up already. They got them orders coming in. They got to get that coffee ready. They excited. So now they got two apps going. So they got Course Perfect and No Cap, All Frap. They got their apps going. Poor Brayden gets a phone call. Well, actually, he got a text. Then he got a text from Kane to get your ass here now.
I couldn't believe he just walked up there and just think like nothing was going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you should have automatically thought that. I mean, matter of fact, his reaction when he got the text from Kane should have told him like
he was scared. His reaction was scared. He knew that he was in trouble.
Yep.
He held it down though. He didn't flip all the way, but
oh, that's a good idea, Xavier. If they run it like a DoorDash or Uber Eats, where they just have random drivers.
Listen, the way they steal food, they would lose product. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't got the muscle to go shake the Uber driver down. You know what I'm saying? Like this really is very different from Course Correct. Course Correct was just a file folder, and we leave it, and you come pick it up, right? Mm-hmm. We send you a QR code, you come pick it up. This is very different.
Yeah.
It's going to require a lot more attention, manpower. Like they're reading it out like it's simple, but
that's why I feel like they're going to have to bring Kiki in just for that reason right there, Miss Honey. That's why I feel like they're going to have someone that's got a little bit more sense, or either Uncle Lucas. They're going to have someone that has a little bit more brain power than the three of theirs put together. Because this is going to grow way bigger than they're going to be able to handle, I believe.
Uncle Lucas on there too. Beep beep though, isn't he?
I think it's going to be Kiki, like you said, Retro. I think that's
why y'all think he calling Effie?
Because he want to find out what's up with Brayden. He want to find out who dropping the bodies if Brayden ain't doing it. That's what
y'all think Effie gonna stand up for Brayden like Brayden stood up for her?
Yeah, I think he called her to figure out the Lauren situation.
That's a good point, Mr.
That's what he called.
And I don't know how to answer that question.
Because when he asked Brayden about Lauren, immediately he told him which was smart, like you don't know, so that means you can't be implicated, which was smart. But I think he's calling her to hey yo, did he really? I think he's about to have raising doubts that he took out Lauren because he didn't take out the connect.
Tommy told Monet what?
Hood, no tap, no trap, no cap my ass. Right, Xavier. Oh yeah, you remember when it was at the God forbid me mention Ghost name. Remember when it was at Ghost's grave back in season 1?
Mm-hmm.
And Monet put a strap on Tommy, and he told Monet that you better watch this one right here because he ain't what you think he is.
That you couldn't trust him.
Right, you can't trust him.
I wouldn't say Tariq isn't trustworthy.
Shit, Tariq is a Chucky doll, and I wouldn't want him in the house with me.
Juggy, you think that Tariq is untrustworthy too?
Hell no, you can't trust Tariq.
Tariq is a Chucky doll. He's a Megan. I would want him in the house with me. He's dangerous. He's evil.
I don't see it. I think he's young and dumb and obviously for you know what, but and he, immature, but I don't see him as I feel like we had this conversation already when Blanca was really after him. But I don't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, he would turn on them in a heartbeat if it had something to do with Tasha, if it got something to do with his grandmother, even if it has anything to do with him getting that inheritance. I mean, he still got to do it. And you know what? That's what's going to happen. He's going to end up working with RSJ. When he get that inheritance, he's going to figure out a way to get Simon Stern up out them clubs.
I really haven't seen him do anybody down bad that wasn't his enemy. I think he had a legitimate business proposition for Nash, and Nash just came out of his mouth wrong, and he ended up, losing it. I don't see it. I don't see Tariq is untrustworthy. I think he worked schemes to get out of doing people bad, the people he liked bad.
Right. He turned on Kanan. Look how he did Kanan. Look how he did Tommy. If
he had no choice, he had to turn on Kanan.
Okay, that part because he did it for Tasha. But what about how he did Tommy in the end of Power? If Tommy was not Tommy would be dead right now because he set the Italians up to unalive Tommy. So I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Tariq is a nice young man if you want to. You see, he stabbed that man to death. That man couldn't even finish his steak dinner.
I do think Tariq will turn on Monet, but Monet need to be turned on.
Yeah,
we need to be done with these Tejadas. I need some real.
Diana, and I hate that they keep pushing this narrative with power. Y'all got to find another way to get rid of characters like Ghost and Monet and Rock. Y'all need to find other ways to get rid of those characters besides using their children to do it. Because I feel like we're going to see the same thing happen with Monet and Diana. Diana's going to be the reason for Monet's downfall. I don't think she's going to unalive her. I think she's going to end up getting her locked up.
Yeah, I think that family's going to devour them each other, really.
Yeah.
I really do think that. I think Kane is going to turn against Drew. I think Monet is going to be the one that unalives Lolo. I think that Diana's gonna have it in for Monet after she unalives Lolo. Like that family is gonna be torn asunder this season.
All right, so let's get into next week's episode. Let's see what we got for next week. All right, what we got? Damn, they get more work.
You know what? Honestly, that right there, I feel like that's a test. I don't think. Although Mecca was, but I still at the same time, I don't think Mecca moved guns. I kind of feel like this is a test.
No, he did. He said it.
He did move
guns. You know what? I got an issue with this. And maybe my petty reader is on high, but remember when they robbed Dante? Mm-hmm. Y'all remember when they robbed Dante and Dante didn't have no product? And they had to go back and rob it from Tariq to take to Lorenzo? This man got a whole warehouse of product now, but they robbed whatever little stash he had there in that penthouse. That was all the work he had.
I thought everything was in the green bag.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, it was $5.4 million in the green bag in the form of a ring, but still.
I was about to say,
in the form of a ring,
maybe they didn't know about the warehouse.
So
maybe they didn't know about the warehouse.
It's weird. I mean, he's got a whole airplane hangar.
I don't believe that was all Mecca's work. I think that's what they're saying. Just they're putting that pressure on them to move all that weight. I don't think.
Well, he was the connect though.
I don't believe Mecca was moving all that weight.
He was the connect, and connect means you're wholesaling, right? You're not just passing off baggies in front of the 5 and dime.
Right. No. It's interesting.
I mean, you need to have 500 on it, not just 5 on it.
It's interesting that they brought Drew in, so now you got Drew in here. So now Drew gonna get threatened.
Okay, so who is this? Okay, so Kane, Drew, that obviously we know by the layers of clothing, that's Tariq. And that's Effie
and Brayden.
Oh.
I mean,
and Lolo. Who are these people in the forefront?
I thought that was Lolo too, but I don't think that's Lolo. I think that's one of the workers bringing in.
That's one of the workers.
Yeah, that's one of the workers bringing in the crate.
Yeah, because when Tariq tells him like, "Yo, we don't move guns," all of them are just like super surprised. Yeah, see, it's just them.
Yeah, the kids.
And I think at this point they have they have no choice but to bring Drew in to show him like, "Yo, this is
this how serious it is. Like this how serious it is." Yeah.
They doing guns now. Wow.
So that's putting even more work on them. And Obi's like, y'all better move this work or you know what's going to happen.
I want to see them do some molly-whopping. Why they got him dressed like Harry Potter? I want to see them do some molly-whopping.
He is Harry Potter.
The Nigerians.
Yeah. They going to start whopping up on somebody here. Lorenzo looked awfully concerned. You see how many crates in the back of that van? They drive.
I think it's because
that's why I'm like, why didn't he talk to them a little bit more in depth about what he was dealing with?
Yep.
Kane. He's so impulsive.
And he's way over his head. They all are.
Again, it shows why he gave Drew the title to run the family. I think in that scene, though, I think it's because Lorenzo and them probably never moved guns before. That's like something outside of their comfort zone. They only used to moving work. So
I think Thelma and Louise gonna get a lead this week.
These two are definitely scissoring. Look at, how do you have this much cleavage out, Jenny? Like, And it's poor cleavage at that. It's not even impressive. Sad cleavage.
Cagney and Lacey getting ready to have a break this week. They're gonna have a lead this week. I think that they're gonna be chasing. They're gonna chase a lead this week. They're gonna get something.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Well, no, because in the preview she talks about a gun deal, so they're gonna pull up on that gun deal.
I mean, it levels it up. Now
It levels it up.
That's what does they call it? NRA. What's that? They call me FTA, FDA.
Yep.
ATF.
With the gun.
ATF.
ATF.
Yeah.
It levels it up. And you call the DEA and the ATF gonna be involved too.
A piece of white bread. That's what she looks like.
What I'm thinking is, I which I hope is how do they? I hope they show how they got that information, because there has to be some way.
Yes, she was. She is a stud.
What?
Remember, we met her wife. We met her wife in Power.
Yeah. So
she dressed like that in Power.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like she gives a strong finger. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God. Bob is honey.
It's a long art form, honey. People don't really do it anymore. It's like making out. Nobody gives this good finger anymore. Diana is a snitch. Agreed.
Snitch. Yep.
She probably
Diana gave him the box. And he looked like he whispered in her ear about something ain't none of his business in this scene.
He looked like he trying to cut her from the herd.
Yep.
Or
oh, you caught him in a real bad look.
That's how he looked. Every scene he in, that's how he looked. He looked like he hired her product.
He looked like Rollins. What's Theo? He looked like Theo Rollins.
Again, this is why I feel like this ain't the type of dude that Diana go up for. Like, why you? She don't gave him the box, so and now she finna have pillow talk. So
same thing with Tariq.
Yep, we know that ain't gonna end well because she gonna tell Celine everything she know about what's been happening and thinking that that's her confidant, and really he gonna take that and disseminate that information to other.
I still don't think Saxe is the true CI that's deep undercover.
Yep. So we see the gun deal getting ready to go down. We see that Lorenzo busting. So something gonna happen. This might be, y'all. This might be. I'm gonna go ahead and start this argument real quick. This might be Lorenzo's last week with us.
That could be possible.
I mean, we need some excitement.
This might be Poppy's last weekend with us.
He's baked his last gingerbread.
What y'all think? Y'all quiet. What y'all think?
I didn't really see the replay. I mean, the preview. So
yeah, I agree. It could be.
I agree.
What are we gonna be on episode 4? If he doesn't drop this episode, he's going at 5.
Yeah, I'd say he's got to be out of there at least by 6.
Yeah, he's got to be out of here by 5.
He's got to be. But I definitely think this is the one because this is showing like he's actually out there. Because what's weird about this whole scene where they showed in the clip, they never showed Kane shooting back, and Kane is with him.
Yeah, because Kane was in the passenger seat of
Kane's
the van.
in the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm.
So they never
I
showed
do
it.
too, Xavier.
Yeah, I agree, Xavier. I want to see more of Noma too because again, they introduced but you know they typically do that because they did that with Lobos. Lobos wasn't in every episode always around. You know, he came around. You know, so I think we're going to see her on the end part of the season. She's going to come around. Lorenzo dies. Go back to that comment. See, Lorenzo dies wearing a blue shirt. Okay, all right. So we have him a while.
I gotta watch that trailer again because I don't even remember them showing him die for real.
I think
Maybe
they do
he
show
wounded and then dies later.
What we assume to be Lorenzo. I think they show it on Jenny Nim's board.
Well, there's a commercial or something out there where everybody gets asked as the actors are kind of like trying to set up the season, and they're like, it's some stuff you won't believe. It's going to be incredible. Like no one will see this coming. it just kind of hyped it up to make it seem like we think we know what's going on, but nah.
Yeah, if they kill normal this season, I'll be very irritated with that because I have an issue with that. This new version of Power. I think Keep It Q or Keywan or Quintessential, one of them said earlier, we need the OG Power writers back instead of these new writers, because these new writers, they're killing villains off way too soon, and then only to introduce a new villain. Like, let the current villain stick around for a season or two before you offer.
Yeah.
Monet shows up to Dirty Diana's dorm, and it's not for an olive branch. You know she went over there to get a lie or steal or do something with that detective.
Yep.
And Diana, like, she should have beat a little ass while she was over there. Diana goes run right up to Whitman and say, "You know she sent me to lie to you." Huh? Diana, have you not learned your lesson yet?
I mean, she taught her how to run game, so she could still be running game on him, just setting him up for the okie doke.
I thought about that too.
She positioning him to catch that bullet because you know Monet itching to put one behind his ear.
I thought about that too. Except
that's a twist, honey. That's a twist, Miss Honey. I like that.
I thought about that too, except for in the trailer, I saw her and Monet go at it. So I don't think that she's running game.
Whoa, HFG, you're right. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So maybe we don't lose. Maybe we don't lose Lorenzo at all this season, or he gets unalive at towards the end of the season. Monet did say in the trailer, "You need to leave New York." I remember seeing that in one of the trailers.
We're just 3 episodes in. We're getting so much information download. We did the same thing with Force. You know what I'm saying? We run them scenarios all 5 different ways to Sunday, and then a good 15% of them don't come true. I mean, don't happen. We're disappointed. Like, this could go either way. They could have shot these things all kinds of ways.
But let's go back to Force, Raising Kanan, and now this season, we have predicted a lot of things that have come to fruition.
It's true.
So it's in the writing. But what is this Fruit Loop doing? What is this Fruit Loop getting ready to do?
Who is that?
That's Whitman.
That's Whitman.
Oh, Lord. They said he wanted to be the killer of everybody.
I don't think he's going to kill anybody. I think in this scene, from what I think that, he is going off of information that Diana told him. So now that it's because he's supposed to be on death duty, he's supposed to be suspended.
Setting him up.
Like he's going like deep undercover to where he's probably following Monet, or he's about to do something here to set up Monet
and get set up himself. Going back to Miss Honey's theory that she still could be working him over. So now she could be luring him into a trap.
Yep. I wouldn't mind seeing Monet in jail. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed this season where Ghost was in jail. I wouldn't mind seeing her stripped down, man.
That wig, like how they did Tasha, take that wig off and all. Yep.
Let me see them. Them braids. Your braid down.
Taraji P. Henson would have made a good Monet. I think I would have liked her better as Monet.
Yeah, but it would have been too much.
Actually, she was casted. She was looked at for a role for Power. I can't remember what it was. Maybe
they can afford Taraji. They already staying in the same locations, street corners. I mean, it'd be the same scenes over and over again with different characters. They can't afford Taraji.
Not even that though. I don't even think they would, because it would be just too much like her playing her character from Empire. So,
Cookie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Be Cookie
Lions.
Yep.
And of course, 50 and her had that little back and forth about power. I mean, Empire copying Power, all this other stuff. So
Yep.
But I mean, it would have been dope acting wise, but it would have been too much like her character from Empire. That's just me.
If they had her playing that character. But if they had her playing something else, really, to be quite honest with you, I would really like to have seen her playing like an attorney or a judge or maybe like a detective. She would have been dope for that.
Yeah. But I think this scene, he's setting somebody up.
She would have been a good Noma.
Yeah, she would have been a good normal. She would have made a good normal. Yeah. Nah, this fool like he's gonna break into the house. That's what he looked like. He looks like he's outside the brownstone.
I didn't even peep the background. Yeah, you're right. He probably is about to break in there and try to get some evidence.
Yep, he looked like they about to break into their brownstone.
Real, and he got to break in. He could just walk right in. I mean, they're not under any duress. You know what I'm saying? They ain't locking no doors.
You're right. Empire was nothing. I don't even know what that beef was about. That was just something stupid to say because they were both on at the same time. They both started around the same time. That was the only reason for the beef, because the shows were nothing like. There's no comparison to Power in Empire. I agree with that, Xavier.
I mean, it was no comparison, but the viewers were doing that, and that's how it ended up spilling over into both of them because they kept going back and forth. The viewers were the one who literally started that whole thing. It was saying like, Empire is copying Power and Power is the better show, all this other stuff. But yeah, it was stupid.
They both follow the same formula. They give you a first episode that's bang up, that's get you on the edge of your seat, and from then on out, it's a bunch of nonsense.
A bunch of foolery. Yep.
Yeah.
Foolery. All right,
how many times did Lucius die? Get a life-threatening illness.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. Thanks everyone for coming through and dropping y'all thoughts and theories in the comment section. Boy, y'all keep us busy because y'all have a lot of good points. Some points that we agree with, some points we don't agree with, but at the most part, you guys come through with some real good think abouts. So let's see what happens next week. We probably need to do a show. I want to probably do a show later this week, and let's just specifically talk about the TA. I'm gonna go do some more digging. When I go dig for gold, I come back with something. So I'm gonna go dig a little bit more about this character and see can I get a character description of this character and find out what it is. So we might need to do a little character analysis, or maybe we'll wait till next week's episode so we can see what happened with him and Diana bump bodies. And see
what kind of questions he got for Diana, how he moved with her.
Yeah, we'll see how he moved with her next week, and then we'll do a character breakdown of him and find out what we can figure out about this. Because it was kind of like he's kind of putting me in that feeling that we had about Palomar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we went so many different directions with Palomar's character, and none of them were correct. So we'll figure out what's going on with this TA come next week. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way out. We appreciate y'all coming through. Team, y'all sign off.
Retro, before you end it, I have to eat the crow.
Oh, you better eat crow. Is Xavier still here? Where Xavier at?
Xavier was correct.
Yes, he was.
I was wrong.
You were wrong. Saxe did tell Tariq that Lauren was unalive. Shout out to DeMarcus, Xavier, all y'all that argued with us last week. Y'all all right.
Y'all were right. I immediately, as soon as we got off the show, I watched it. It's so biggest day.
In the library with the candlestick, it was definitely Saxe.
Yeah, so I definitely have to eat crow. So I was wrong.
Right. All right, fam. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a good week.
We out.